Hey, welcome to my Platinum walkthrough for Mina The Hollower. This is one without modifiers, and this will be where we start New Game Plus. This is part 19 if you're watching my segmented guide, but if you're watching just a single video, this will likely just be put all into a New Game Plus. So I'll probably combine it all into 3 playthroughs eventually, but yeah, this is part 19 of my segmented series. So what you want to do first is go into your cleared save, and you want to press a button to start New Game Plus, but do not actually start it yet. Just change your file to New Game Plus. Then once you change it to New Game Plus, come into your modifiers. You've noticed that you've got loads of new ones now. You want to turn on no general shop, no weapons merchant, no trinket merchant. You also want to turn on closed underlabs and your damage numbers at the bottom. They can still allow you to enable trophies. So make sure you've only got those 4 or 6 on. Remember, the 4 important ones are closed underlabs, no general shop, no trinket shop, and no of the other one. I think it's the general or no merchant. But yeah, those 4, because they count as a hard and a weird modifier. So when you complete a game on New Game Plus, you'll get a trophy for completing the game with those enabled. And you have to make sure you choose them from the start. If you enable them during the playthrough, it will not count. It has to be before you actually start the playthrough for the first time. And all I've done now, so I've come downstairs in the bottom of the boat, I've changed my weapon to the Whisper and Vesper, the 2 daggers. The reason being is because we still need to get a trophy out of the way for killing a boss by throwing your dagger at them. So make sure you change your weapon to Whisper and Vesper. And the reason we put on closed underlabs is we're also going to get a trophy out of the way in this one before completing the game without entering the underlab. You can still use the underlabs to save your game. You know, when you just walk across a borough point, you just can't go inside them. And if you put on closed underlabs, then it just makes it so you don't go in by mistake. And if you die, you don't end up spawning inside, you're spawning on the outside. That's why we want closed underlabs on. And of course, the 3 shops. Okay, so after that boss defeats you, you're going to talk to Cappy, tell him come with me. That's like a nice option. We're going to do a few steps which would lead us to a blameless ending in New Game. You can't get blameless ending in New Game Plus if you've already got fish trophies, because that kind of voids it automatically if you've got any fish trophies in your inventory. But just go and buy some of these steps, it'll just familiarise you slightly with what we need to do. So all I've done, I've gone that underlab point now, just save for game, trigger an auto save, and I'm just going to die to get all my vials back, because you start the game with 0, and there you go. So I've got a 10 if you look on the bottom left corner. Just going to kill him, get a spark back, and then we're going to make our way through Lonus Landing. Now you will get more bones from enemies on New Game Plus, and one of the things for blameless ending, you can't destroy more than 4 candles. 4 is the maximum. If you destroy 5, you get blamed for something, probably being like a vandal. So try not to break candles, it'll just be good practice for when we do our 3rd playthrough, which will be at below 1%. There's 3 other things, like you just got to not do any bad acts pretty much. You can't buy from shops, but of course we're not doing that anyway, because we disabled them all. You're not going to get blameless on this, like I say, because you've got fish trophies already in your inventory from 100% on the previous playthrough. You've already lost the blameless ending as soon as you started, basically. And of course we're going through this quick, because we're not bothering looting anything. I will probably get to like a farm point a bit later. So I mean, if you want to stop and kill some of these enemies, you can do. And you want to keep hold of the mist jar and beckoning collar. Never change those. Yeah, always keep them. Because when we do that 3rd playthrough below 1%, you're not going to be able to smash candles. So if you get the wrong sidearms too many times, you're not going to be able to go back. You'd have to reload an earlier save. It's not like there's a trophy for completing the game without smashing candles, but if you get through the game and you get the good ending, or the blameless ending, it allows you to skip the last area. And so that's why we want to try and go flat on below 1% playthrough. It'll just make it a bit easier to do. We're also going to try and do a speed run on this playthrough. So when we do the below 1%, we've not got many things we need to watch out for. We'll be able to go in underlabs, we'll be able to take our time. So it's nice to get all those out of the way right now. So in the commons next, got a boss fight coming up. So this boss, I'm going to kill him by hitting him with my Whisper and Vesper from the other side of the screen. You can't do it with the default weapon, you have to wait until you get the upgrade, but because you've got 100% already, we have got that upgrade, so we can do it now. Like I say, you have to hit the boss, or you have to kill the boss, sorry, with the Whisper and Vesper from the other side of the screen. So when the boss got very, very low HP left, you're going to hold square, the attack button, and then once you flash, that means you're ready to let go, and you'll throw the dagger across the screen. Then of course you've got to run to the opposite side quickly, let go of the button, and you'll lob it. And when you bring yourself down with a pet and a mist jar, because we're still using that cheese build for this, just make sure you detonate the pet when he's still probably got about 3rd HP left, otherwise it might kill him. And there you go, just got our trophy, guys. Sniper. If you don't get it, then before you leave the screen, just quit and reload, and you'll respawn at the start of the boss fight and you can try again. Alternatively, you can wait to get to Thorn in a moment and try it on Thorn. You might find it a bit easier, because something like that big boss, a Hulk Trooper, he likes to kind of like jump at you quite often, and the arena isn't too big, but Thorn is a lot bigger, so you might find it easier. And the Thorn bite's coming up very soon. And when you go into that like dining room, you want to skip the cutscenes in there. So that again can mess up the blameless ending if you watch the all finished cutscene. So if you want to get Whisper and Vesper trophy from this one, guys, the sniper dagger, just bring yourself down. So it's got like 1 or 2 hits left. Hold the attack button down, go to the side of the screen quickly when you've baited him to one side, quickly spin around and lob the dagger, and hopefully it'll kill him. Like I say, hopefully you got that trophy already with the Hulk Trooper. We're going to do all the dungeons in order, and we're probably going to get like 2 dungeons per video. We will be going a lot quicker now because of course we're not going for 100%. We're not worrying about killing every enemy, you know, all that. The farming spot when we get there is going to be in area number 3. In Kindlewood, I believe it is. So once we get there, probably farm for maybe 15 minutes or so, which will get us quite a lot of experience or bones before we push on. So after that fight, come south. Just going to come down here to the Underlab, and because we can't enter the Underlab, we can't change our trinkets or weapons. The only way you can do that is by going to the weapon shop or the trinket shop. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make access to those stores, so that if you do want to change trinkets or your weapons, you can just come back to OSX, go into the shops, open the chest and change. And I need to carry the Wisp. I don't have to carry the Wisp equipped, and that's like a trinket you always want equipped. It allows you to jump further along pits so you can glide. You can also mischar along the pit and then jump quickly. Yeah, so you mischar, and as your mischar runs out on the pit, you can quickly jump, so that gives you a bit more distance. But you can't normally float after doing that. Right, so up here, I am killing a few enemies along the way, just get a bit more bones. I mean, it's up to you if you want to kill every single enemy. I'm trying to kill some of these which are a bit stronger. My problem now is I've not got a stolen oil equipped, so the bones are not coming straight to me. But I'll then change that very shortly when we get to the trinket shop. There will be an enemy in this video which gives you like 3,000 per kill, and he does respawn, and there's an Underlab 2 screens away. So you could always farm him if you wanted to, briefly. But like I said, we are trying to get a 4-hour speedrun trophy out of the way. This run's probably going to take us a few hours. And if you ever do want to kill yourself quick, you can go to your modifiers and enable flawless lava. If you do that, you can just kill yourself really quick, and that does not disable trophies. So you can turn off flawless lava, get killed, turn it off, and you'll still get trophies fine. If you remember, we actually used that at the end of the first playthrough. Kill ourselves quickly at one point. So what I'm doing in here is I want to get below the underpass and get to that top right doorway. Well, the left doorway of the 3 top right doors. That's one we want to go in. These red blocks, remember, you have to dig below them and allow fire to reach them. Shortcut there. You might need it, well you will need that later, possibly. Yeah, watch out for these fat guys trying to jump on you. They do give quite a lot of bones now at this point, that's why I'm trying to kill them. And your max level in New Game Plus, by the way, is 15. So yeah, you can now go up to level 15. But the cost now is quite expensive to level up. I think it's 10,000 now. And I think once you level up once, it'll go up to like, I think 15,000 or something similar. It's going to get very, very expensive to level up. And because we can't enter the Underlab, we also can't take out any bones from the bone bank. But when we go to buy a train pass, you should be able to use 10k from the bone bank then, so that'll be helpful. Right, so here we are. We've got our access to the top left corner of Ossex. There's an Underlab there if you need it. There's also less Underlabs, so keep that in mind. Yeah, some Underlabs, there's like quite a long way between them. Not like Ossex. Ossex, all the Underlabs are still here. But when it comes to dungeons, you have quite a long distance between Underlabs. Just got to be careful with your vials. So I've just gone through that shortcut to give me access to Pointer Shop. I've gone back through, I've come down here to Trinket Bazaar. I'm going to come inside, and this is the trinket chest. So this is the only way you can change our trinkets when we've got 100%. I mean, we can't collect any trinkets, so you can't do it that way. Okay, so what we want equipped. So I mean, change this if you want to, but it's going to be quite useful. So we've got Draining Bestium, Deadening Wand, Stolnoid, Carry the Wisp, Watchful Eye, and Dual Syringe. Now, Watchful Eye and Deadening Wand will give you more bones when you defeat enemies. And for Watchful Eye, it says if you defeat enemies without getting damaged. Now, if you use the Mist Jar, that will still count. So if Mist Jar lowers your HP or Dual Syringe, that does not actually count as damage from enemies. So Watchful Eye will still work, which is nice. And I just went in the weapon shop down below and changed my weapon back to the hammer. Once you've done so, come up here back to a train station. We're going to bore through this crawl space on the top left. Which you want to come into the station underside, kick down that rope, hop across here. Open that lock with 4 vials. Kick down this rope down here, and see this blue beggar with a cup of tea. We're going to give him 100 bones. Do not talk to that red guy though to the north, because if you do, he's going to start spawning around Ossex and try and mug you, so just leave him. Yeah, do not talk to him at all. Just talk to the blue guy, give him 100 bones, then come through this crawl space next. Hit that tree, some bones will fall out, and then defeat this enemy. So this enemy I mentioned, it gives you 3,000 bones. So if you do want to farm him now for like 15 minutes or something, if you go right from here into the courtyard, then up, there'll be an Underlab at the entrance to the manor. Like I say, just stand on the top, turn off Thoughtless Lava, kill yourself, turn it off, come in and kill this guy again, and repeat. There you go, 2,720, almost 3k. Right, so once he's defeated, come right into the courtyard. Come back south into city centre, and we're now going to make our way east into Eastern Heath. Now you can't talk to Clumpy if you want Blameless ending, because talking to Clumpy and taking on this little quest will give you the blame. Yeah, we're making our way along here, Eastern Heath. Like I say, we're making our way to the crypt now. We're going to do all the dungeons in order. Be careful in the grotto, especially if you've got no HP, because you're using the Dual Syringe and the Mist Jar combo. And of course a pet. You can always put on Protospark if you want to swap it for something, guys. For example, you might want to take off a Draining Bestium. Draining Bestium just gives you a bit more damage, you know, if you're a pet. You could swap that for Protospark if you wanted. And problem is you can't change it back until you get back to Ossex. So it might make boss fights a lot slower. So I'll kick down that rope on the left. Probably never going to use it, but just nice to get out shortcut. To be honest, we might come back down here when we've done the Cold Train Peak. So that area is of course above this, and sometimes come back to get back to Ossex after completing that dungeon. So once in here, Yeah, I went out of the room by mistake. So here we are, go right into Morning Smile. Going to do a big jump across that pit to skip the room. Crouch beneath there. I'm going to kill these knights because they give you quite a lot of bones. Once you get to that farming point later, I'll probably avoid most of the enemies. Because I'm just farming 15 minutes, it's probably going to be a lot quicker than killing all the strong enemies you come across. Yeah, just going to kill a few. Right, you need to dig beneath these rocks and press a switch which is hidden beneath them to lower these spikes. You can break this wall with this, find some bones, and I'm going to kill that knight as well. Yeah, the rich lady in the high street in Ossex, do not talk to her either, because she also cancels out the blameless ending. Yeah, Clumpy the Clown, I've mentioned him. Yeah, we're going to smash this gravestone, guys, reveal it with borrow space and drop down it. Kick down that rope, smash that block to reveal some steps. Take the bottom right exit, press that switch, enable the spikes and take this east exit over here after defeating the knight. This build will work for pretty much all boss fights, as you know from the first playthrough. The only one it doesn't really work is the brain in, I think it's in Bone Beach. I think that's the only boss it doesn't really work for. All the rest it does. It's not very good on the fish boss. You know, Tylason, or whatever his name is. Not very good on him. But of course, you don't need to fight him because he's an optional boss. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works on all the other story bosses, just not that brain one. It's going to be quite different on below 1%, because you're not going to have all these trinkets to begin with, are we? But I think on the below 1%, what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and get the second sidearm pouch, you know, so we can have two sidearms. We're going to get dual syringe, we want to have a pet and a mist collar. Probably Kerry the Wisp, it just makes platforming a bit better. And I'm not quite sure after that. Might try and get a uranium bracelet. Well, maybe can't even do that, because if we want blameless ending, we can't really buy from shops. And I guess it also depends if the dual syringe is locked behind anything. I don't know, we'll see when we get there, guys. New game plus first. So these big orange wolves, they do drop quite a bit, so I am defeating them. It's a slime here. And I've got another orange wolf coming up, I think, a bit further to the north. And I just boned up. So it's going to cost 10k. We're going to do it the same as before, guys. So we're going to level up sidearm first. That's what we're mainly using damage enemies. Then we'll go for attack and then defense. Or if you want to swap it around, you could go for sidearm first and then defense next. And then attack third if you want to. And then of course back to start again. Do you see how much it's going to cost level up now? Sidearm. Level 12 is going to be 15,000. So it's like going up by 50%. It's quite a massive amount. Hopefully it's not going to keep going up at that rate. So there's another orange wolf or gargoyle. You can hit the arrows at him to kill him a bit quicker. Right, this next stream, you can borrow and glide almost all the way across there. Press that switch to attract the spikes in the next stream. Smash those bushes, come through, and there's the spikes on the top right, which was just lowered. Kill the enemy. There's a fake wall there with some bones hidden behind it. Borrow it in the ground to get the bones. And here, I'm just going to dash straight across. There we go. Take out a few enemies. Now, in the crypt area, you can rescue an NPC called Midden. Do not rescue him, because that also gives you some blame. So when we do our blameless ending, we also want to make sure we do not do like any NPC quests either. When you get these heads to put on the statues, try to make sure your pet is not out, because what can happen is when the ghost is chasing you, when you pick up the head, the pet can actually, it doesn't quite damage him, but it makes the head go kind of like face out for a moment. And if that happens when you lob the head on the statue, you'll not get the bunch of bones from the green ghost when it dies, basically, because it won't die if your pet has just hit it. So yeah, if you've got one of them green ghosts following you guys, disable your pet just until you've defeated it. Right, at the crossroads, and we actually just went past a Underlab. So if at that Underlab, you can get killed nearby if you want to after triggering an autosave. So you respawn with all your vials and you just be back at that Underlab. I actually forgot to do it, so I'm going to do it the next one, which is not too far away. And all we've just done in that area, guys, we hit the block to disable some of the blocks, and we came back into here. Each time we go through a new dungeon, we are going to want to make sure we go through the mirror, disable the blocks, so that later when we get to the astral orrery area, all the blocks are already disabled and just be easy to navigate. Now this room, make sure you defeat all the enemies in there, because when you have to transport his head through there in a moment, it's going to be awkward if all the enemies are still alive. That's it. And try not to fall down the pit. So I'm going to jump, glide before the ghost spawns. Yeah, as you can see, I've disabled my pet. And before you lob the head on the statue, wait for the ghost to come above the ground, because if it's above the wall or something, you might not get the bones. So wait until it's above the ground. There we go. So that's it. 340 we got. Next up, take the west exit. Now we need to get the other statue's heads to repair the one to the west. You saw then I just used Misjar to face across the pit and I could jump at the end. But like I say, when you do that, you can't glide. Right, so grab a statue. And so let's take it all the way back to that crossroads. You can jump and glide that big gap. You can just make it. Right, and there we go. 340 again. Now in this room, you want to kill all these enemies because they give you quite a lot. But when they do respawn, if the mage revives them, there's no need to kill them again because you don't get any bones the second time. Only the first time you kill them. It would have been nice if they made it so each time they revive, they gave you bones again, because it could have been a good farming spot. But no, I guess they foresaw that and made it so you can only get the bones once, unfortunately. Right, and to open that entrance to the north, you have to press that switch on the bottom right, of course. In here, go down the steps, and there's your next Underlab. This is the last one before the boss. Yeah, this Underlab. So I've just triggered an autosave, and I've stepped off the end to my demise. Once I spawn back again, got all my vials back. Gonna glide over here, take a top exit in this room. Try not to fall down like I do in a minute. Got caught in that fence barrier. Let's try that again. Almost did it a second time. Oh yeah, I did actually fall down. Yeah, I did fall down the second time. Just in a different spot. Same pit, different location. Right, so here we go. Top exit. And in this room, we're almost at the boss. So remember, even with Watchful Eye, I know the description is you get more bones if you kill an enemy without getting hit. But your health being drained from a dual syringe and Misjar combos or any sidearm, it does not count. So you can still get that extra bones from Watchful Eye. Just got to make sure you never take any actual damage from the enemy itself. So I'm just going to keep doing this. My pet's going to do all the work, and I'm just going to keep using Misjar to stay invincible. Remember, this boss got two phases. When you beat it the first time, there'll be a small animation, and then a second phase will begin. Yeah, because if you can level up your sidearm a bit more, guys, it'll do a lot more damage. I know I could if I had Uranium Bracelet as well. And you might be wondering, why am I using Uranium Bestium instead of Uranium Bracelet? Well, it's mainly because that green ring, it lowers your defense as well, doesn't it? It makes it so you take more damage. Because we already take quite a lot more damage on New Game Plus, I figured it's just going to be safer to have more defense and just make boss fights take a bit longer. Yeah, I think that's going to be the better outcome, rather than boss fights going a bit quicker and myself dying quicker. Yeah, I think the former is better. If you think otherwise, then just switch back when we go back to OS X. Right, so that's the first stage done. So like I say, after this dungeon, so it's going to be Crypt, which we're doing now. Then it's going to be Noxious Bayou, you know, the water area, to the bottom left. Then it's going to be Septemberg to the top left. Then it's going to be Bone Beach to the bottom right. Then it'll be Astral Orrery. Sorry, no, it'll be Coltrane Peak after that, which is kind of like to the top right. And then it'll be Astral Orrery, which is kind of between the top left and the top middle. And of course, we've got a final area. I did want to do a blameless ending on New Game Plus, but like I say, you can't because of fish trophies. It's a shame, really. So that's the only thing which kind of locking you out of it. You can get 100%, so I think it's the actions that you have to perform to get most of the collectibles. It's what makes it so you get blamed for things. And because you can't collect them again, you can't really do it again in New Game Plus unless you do them deliberately. But yeah, the fish trophies, just having them in your inventory automatically cancels out the blameless ending. Some of them might change in the future actually. But I just got lots of bones. I think you get 7,000 altogether if you apply the effects of Watchful Eye and Deafening Want. I just leveled up again. So I leveled up attack. And I'm going to carry on off, come to the Solemn Generator. And because all the bones you get from this, you're not going to be able to use them. Remember, we cannot enter the Underlab, and all these bones you get from the Sparta Tower, they go inside the bone bank, which you can't access. So it doesn't matter what bones you gain here, guys. Just try and get to the top as soon as possible. I hate that when you get like comboed on the spikes doing these. You get like no invincibility frames at all. Right, I've done it. Thing is as well, on New Game Plus Plus, you lose all your collectibles because all the New Game Plus modes on this are different. So New Game Plus 1, which we're on now, you keep your collectibles, but you take a bit more damage and you get more bones. New Game Plus Plus, which is basically New Game Plus 2, you lose all your collectibles. Yeah, so there's a few different variables on all the different New Game Plus you can reach. And once you've done that tower, it's going to come south, come through a shortcut back to Knight's Rest. It's going to take out this knight. All we're doing now is going to make our way to Ossex, guys, and that's where we're going to end the video. Then of course tomorrow we'll get Noxus Bayou done and probably Septemberg. Then after that we'll get Bone Beach done and Coltrane Peak. Then it'll be Astral Orrery and the end. So hopefully we've done this playthrough in 4 videos total, I hope. But the minus 1% is going to be interesting, so that's actually going to be really hard. Because you can't collect anything, so you're going to be really weak pretty much for the whole game. You can still level up though, which is nice. So it might be a case of just farming, for, you know, until we get to high level. Because then it's going to be a bit easier with no upgrades. So left into the high street. Yeah, do not attack Maxi. So if you defeat Maxi, that also cancels out a blameless ending. So that's something else we need to avoid. Yeah, and you can't kick that. You know the can, which the boys kicking around, the kids. You can't kick that either. There's so many things which you can't do if you want to get the blameless ending. But I'll show you everything anyway when we begin that playthrough after this one. But anyway, that's it. Just going to copy myself file across for the next part. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on number 20. Hey, welcome back to part 20 of my Platinum walkthrough for Mina the Hollower. Of course, this is without modifiers. I mean modifiers which disable trophies, and this will be the second part of our New Game Plus playthrough. But part 20, we're following the whole Platinum. But anyway, so just gone south from Essex, we've gone left, we've come into this screen, just making our way left. We're going into Noxus Bayou now. We're going to complete that area in this video and also get half of Septemberg done. Well, maybe more than half. We'll probably get about 2/3 of it done. Couldn't quite get it all done in this video. So part 21 is probably going to be the rest of Septemberg, Bone Beach. Part 22 will be Coltrane Peak and part of Astral Orrery. Then hopefully part 24, if we get them numbers correct, should be the rest of Astral and the, of course, Radiant Mana to finish with. So come down into the back quarters. Like I say, we're making our way southwest to Noxus Bayou. Not collecting anything. Remember, try not to break any candles if you can help it, because it's going to be good practice for when to do the blameless ending on a below -1% playthrough. And there we are, Noxus Bayou. So no Underlab when you first come in. There's actually only one Underlab in this region, where it's very, very strict. Yeah, 1 Underlab in this whole thing. So we will try to unlock some of the shortcuts along the way, just so if you do die, you can get back a bit quicker. But you find some of the shortcuts in this area, they don't really make it much quicker. I mean, of course it speeds it up, but sometimes you still have to go through quite a few rooms to get to where you unlocked the shortcuts. You know, and get access to where the shortcut was in the first place. Fortunately, it's not like it takes you straight to the Underlab to where you unlock the shortcuts. That would be nice. So I'm trying to take it easy. There's a lot of water, so you need to be very careful if you're using Mist Jar and the collar, because you don't want to fall in the water when you've got very low HP due to the Mist Jar and Jewel Syringe combo. So just be careful with that, guys. You'll see me use my vials quite a bit just to heal up. You know what could have been worse on this, one of the worst trophies, is if you had to go through the game without healing. That could have been worse. You know, you could heal from deaths, let's say you're allowed to do that, but you weren't allowed to use vials. Yeah, that could have been really, really rough. Because then you definitely wouldn't have been able to use the Mist Jar build, I don't think. So we just burrowed into that cog to raise the water level. We're coming back through here next to the northwest. We're going to jump on this boat at the top, and as it comes over to the left, we'll attack that bush to cut it down and then take the top left exit. Watch out for these big blue fish enemies. Remember, they like to lob their flask at you, and it explodes and ignites the water, so just watch out for that. In this room, remember, if you want the enemy to destroy the mesh tiles for you, so you want to get bones beneath him, you'd have to let him throw his flask at the tiles. And there's your Underlab, the only one in this area not assist by you. Yeah, so if you die, you're going to have to come all the way back there, even if you die to the boss. So I'm just going to save, and I'm going to get killed in a minute. So I've only got 5 vials, and I want to get all 10 back. So there you go, I'm just going to jump in that deep water, guys. Then just go back and get that spark. And they're back to normal. But of course I've got more vials now, back at my full stock of 10. So big lagoon, we're going to go clockwise around the room, and see that cog I just ran past in the middle. We need to make our way around to that and then dig into it to of course raise the water level, and then we can take the top right exit behind that small building we just passed. I'm not killing all the enemies, but when we do come to some of these big ones, you can see I'm going to try to kill them just for a few extra bones. And what you might find with this, I mean, you'll see me do it here anyway. So when I get towards the end to the Spark Tower, I've got about 13,000 bones, and I only need 2 more K to level up. Now if I want to complete the Spark Tower, I would lose all them, because of course they're going to go in the bone bank after repairing the Spark Tower, and we cannot enter the Underlab. So if that happens, what you might want to do, before you do the Spark Tower, you might want to just backtrack a bit, kill a few enemies, just to get up to 15k, so you can level up. So that when you go to Spark Tower, guys, you're not going to lose all those bones when you're so close to level up. So raise the water level. Now we're going to make way to the top left, because in order to reach the top right exit, you first have to destroy some blocks in the way, and you have to destroy them from the left. So these blocks here, there we go, destroy them, and take that top right exit, guys, up steps. Now thick thickets. There's normally an Underlab there, of course. It's not available on New Game Plus. I'm going to kill these 2 large frogs. And you might notice that rope to the far right. So when we kick that down, that'll be a small shortcut, but of course you still need to make your way to this room to access that shortcut. I've ignored the Mock Moon enemy. The Mock Moon allows you to access a mirror, which takes you to the Astral Orrery, but I'm not going to bother going all that. I like the mirrors, which are kind of along your natural path, not the ones where you have to go quite far out of the way. Like I say, that one here, where you have to fight a Mock Moon mini-boss. And you don't have to activate every of those crystal blocks anyway in the Astral Orrery. You only need to disable some of them in order to get past disable or activate. Can't remember which it is. Because they're all blocking the north exit in that main room of the Astral Orrery. and if you do not disable enough of the blocks, you can't get past it. So I actually just leveled up as well. Remember, if you level up, you can just do the same things, guys. Sidearm, attack, and defense. Or you can just do sidearm, defense, and then attack, because you probably won't be using attack that much. So I think I'm going to do sidearm, defense, and attack in that order. Then of course back to sidearm again on the next levels. You might see a few edits just where I kind of died. What I am doing, if I do die in a room, I quickly close the game. I did mention this before, I think on the first playthrough, but if you didn't watch that, guys, and watching this New Game Plus, but yeah, if you die in a room, you can quickly close the game and reload it if you're on PS5. Do it quick enough, the game will not save your death, and you'll just respawn back at the entrance to that room, because of course when you enter a new room, the game always triggers an autosave. But like I say, you've got to be quick. I was trying to do it on my Steam Deck, but I couldn't quite do it in time. But it works on the PS5, because when you open the PS5 home app, it pauses the game. But it doesn't do that on Steam. On Steam, the game keeps running when you open, Steam to, of course, exit the game. Not quite sure if it pauses the game on Xbox if you open the home app. But yeah, it definitely does on PS5. You don't have to worry about not doing it quick enough and the game saving. Just open the home up and it pauses the game. So here I am trying to kill most of these enemies, because it's quite big jumps we have to make. And if I don't kill them, they normally knock me down, one of them does. So I'm just going to carefully take them all out. There we go, like this. But not quite done yet, still a few enemies down here yet. There we go, it's a deep water, so be careful here. Now I wouldn't normally kill these ones right at the bottom, but I know that I'm going to be getting quite tight with bones a bit later, so I'm just trying to build up my bone count. Like I say, I end up with about 2,000 remaining off leveling up, so I have to backtrack a bit. Yeah, keep down that shortcut rope, and then come down this one as well. And now you're in a tainted lair. So you need to jump down to the middle, then make your way north through this exit. In here, make your way clockwise and take the southeast exit. Now I didn't actually mean to do that, but it worked quite well. Yeah, that massive shockwave you get from your pet when you've had it out long enough, it just almost kills most enemies on the screen. It doesn't kill strong enemies, it doesn't do like massive damage. But if you've got like just like a normal small health bar or medium size, it can sometimes kill them all just in one go. So I've done that first water, I've raised the first level. Now I want to raise the second. By coming to the bottom left cog, I'm going to take out that enemy, destroy this weak wall on the top, a little shortcut. So raise water one more time, guys, then we're going to take the southern exit. And we're not actually too far away from the boss now. So be careful here, because that big enemy on the left will be trying to break him. Break the tiles. You might want to go and take him out first, actually, once you've disabled the spikes. Yeah, but I accidentally changed room, didn't mean to do that, but yeah, of course they've all got the health back. It's not like Resident Evil 0, where they keep the health, and you've got to keep dropping items in order to collect more. No, it's not that bad. Right, so of course, if you're using this jar, watch out for these big gaps. Yeah, but you have to disable the spikes before you can get to this guy anyway. As you can see, there are spikes blocking him. Right, there's a shortcut there, so that'd be quicker to get back now if you do die. I'm going to take out the sea monster one more time, or the merman. Right, got her. Right, so let's make our way east, through that exit, and we are almost at the boss. I did die at this boss probably about 5 times. Most of the time I can kill this boss first go, but when I was recording I just couldn't get it down. Maybe I was being a bit too cocky, and he got me. Too confident. So I'm going to kill these 2 frogs. Yeah, this boss gives you about 7,000 bones. I'm going to say experience. Same thing. Yeah, it gives you about 7,000 bones. So, and I need 15k for the level up. So I don't think I was going to quite get enough just from killing these. There is a few more bones between the boss and the spark generator. Probably about 130 or so. Right, so it's probably more like 6,000. So you want to grab that red barrel, come in here, Yeah, you're going to see me go and get it again. So I made a brief edit there, guys, so I died to that boss about 5 times. So I'm going to get a barrel, go back in, and lob it at him. That'll just start the fight with a little bit of damage already dealt. Remember, try not to touch him, go too close, because the water below him does become deep, and try not to get sucked in as well, because if you've got 1 HP, that'll pretty much kill you instantly. When he starts swimming like this, you want to be slightly in front of him, so that your pet can still attack. That's it, and when you see a shadow below the water, he'll try to grab you from beneath, so you want to move around when the shadow gets below you, so you're out of the way for shadow, it comes up and your pet can get a bit more damage. Yeah, so when you see his whole body out of the water like that, don't get too close in case he starts sucking you up. But I've almost got him now. Yeah, so watch out for that, guys. And when he is in his full fish form, when he's swimming along the water, sometimes he will go quicker, so just watch out for that. Yeah, he's going slow at the moment. We know when he's going to go quicker, so he'll kind of stop for a moment, it'll start like wiggling around, and then charge towards you, and it'll bounce off the walls as well. And got him. So let's see how much bones he dropped. I couldn't quite remember. It's got a massive groin there, you see that? Or hip bone. Right, so yeah, it's about 6,000, so it was close. So what I'm going to do, you know them last 2 big frogs we killed, they're not too far away. So first I'm going to go to this Underlab, I'm going to kill myself to respawn them, and we're going to go back and kill them 2 again. To kill myself, so make sure you trigger the autosave first. All I'm going to do, I'm going to modifiers. Remember, you can turn on flawless lava to kill yourself quite easy. There you go, it's going to turn it on. I'm going to die. If you've got high health, it might take a while to bring it down, so you might want to keep using the mist jar to bring your health down a lot quicker. There you go, flawless lava killed me. So I'm going to turn off the flawless lava. The floor is now not lava. That's it. Now it's respawned all the enemies. Going to make our way back here, kill those 2, and hopefully that's going to be enough. I think these give you about 400 each, so it should be plenty. Let's see how it goes. So I've got a red barrel I can use again, so I'll just reset it, of course. Nice, bone up. So I'm going to do my sidearm because that's the next one. Going to go back and do the spark tower. So we're getting close to August, aren't we, guys? When all the big games start coming out. I still don't know what I'm going to do yet, because we've got the Relic First Guardian, we've got Beast of Reincarnation. We've got Sinking City 2, we've got Mortal Shell 2. And I'm trying to think what else. There's the Metal Gear Solid collection coming up. I'm sure there's another one in August which looks interesting, but I can't remember the name. How are we going to manage to play all these at once? Everyone's going to have a massive backlog by the end of the year, aren't they? But you know, depending on how I get on with the Relic, if I do that, or Beast of Reincarnation, I might have to avoid one of those. I don't quite know if I can do them both. So I'd love to do Mortal Shell 2. Mortal Shell 2 and Sinking City 2 are kind of quite high up on my interest list. So I definitely want to try and do those, but because they're both coming out at the same time almost, I need to try and be careful I've not got anything else kind of currently in progress. So this is why I don't know if I can do Beast of Reincarnation and the Relic First Guardian. I don't know if I can do them both and be ready for Mortal Shell 2. Sinking City 2 and of course Metal Gear. But once beat the boss, guys, and on a Spark Tower, yeah, I'll cover all the games in August in a community post. So you're making your way back to the backwaters. You've got this Underlab here, just make sure you touch it, trigger an autosave just in case. Come these steps to the north, break the shortcut blocks, kick down the rope. We're not coming back here, so it don't really make much difference. Now do not kill Duggan. So part of one of the blameless ending things. You need to make sure you do not kill Duggan, otherwise that will count as a sin, I guess. Yeah. You need all good deeds in order to get the blameless ending, I believe. Any bad deeds, you know, just anything like you're killing a human NPC, you're breaking candles, you know, that counts like a bad deed. That's why you got to avoid so many things in order to get a blameless ending. So we're in here in the occupied bridge. We've come up to the overpass. We're going left now and into September. You can't use your train either. You can only use your train once for the blameless ending, and of course we need to use it once to get to Coltrane Peak, so you pretty much can't even use it outside of that required use to get to the peak area. So these big guys here, I wanted to destroy the rocks because there's loads of bones buried beneath them. That's it. Then we're going to take them both out and grab all my goodies and take the top left exit. Right, top left exit. Yeah, Septemberg is another one. I believe there's only one save point. To be honest, yeah, there is one actually. You've got one in Kinderwood and there's one in Septemberg. But the one in Septemberg is like really far away. It's almost near the end of the dungeon. So if you die, you've got a very long way to kind of retrace your steps from. Yeah, very long way indeed. All the way from basically this Underlab in this room. Now if you do want to farm, you can see Thorn there up in a chat with his buddies, trying to devise a strategy on how to defeat you. It's not going to happen, guys, with a Mistjar, trust me. So you see the Underlab there. These enemies are a good farming point, and you could just keep using this as well, the Mistjar and pet combo. So what you would do, you'd kill them all, you'd kill yourself with Flawless Lava, and you kill them all again, kill yourself with Flawless Lava, kill them all again, kill yourself with Flawless Lava, and repeat. So it's the Underlab, guys. Make sure you touch it so that you're going to autosave and somewhere to respawn if you die. Now take the bottom right exit once you're done. Remember this, them enemies have to destroy the blocks with their fireballs. They shoot from their mouth. In this room, in the residence, grab the lamp, lob it at the blocks with faces on them, which want to take top right exit here. Kick down the shortcut rope and come through here next. We have got a mini boss fight coming up. Once in the overgrowth, first take out this like Ghostbuster type dude. That's it, grab a lamp, destroy any of these 3 blocks or all of them if you want to, just so you can get past and onto the moving platforms. Now you want that enemy on the left to destroy that one with a fireball. Once he's done so, come up here next, hop down on the left, watch out for these enemies. They like to hop around. Just going to keep using Mistjar and my pets. That's it, get plenty of bones as well from these guys. So take out the big pumpkins, just so you can make a path on the left. You're making your way to bottom left exit, and there's also a shortcut rope here. There it is. Kick down the shortcut rope, coming in next. Now smash that blockage so you can access your Underlab for a shortcut. Come in here, enter the house, it will spit you out and trigger a boss fight. So very easy with this build. Just stay inside him, guys, and keep facing and let your pet do all the work. The pet loves to be inside your enemies. So I just let him get inside, you know, get all dirty, and I just stay outside, making myself invincible by using the Mistjar. Then from here we're going to go left straight into the station area, left again into Septemberg, and make our way through there. In Septemberg, you do have to rescue the children in order to get a blameless ending, so we are going to be rescuing them during this playthrough, just to kind of show you the path we're going to be taking on our below 1%. A bit more practice. So once you're dead, make sure you wait for the bones to drop. No idea what happens if you exit the room now and come back in. So I got quite a lot there. Almost, was it like 8,000 something? So I'm just going to level up my defense next. Then we'll do attack a bit later. There you go. So I want to exit. I do not want to buy any bone stones because if you do that, he's going to lose all those bones because you can't use it Underlab after. So they're the 4 kids we're going to rescue a bit later. So come left into September, the Wither Farms. Now normally there's only a kid to rescue when the carving man is chasing you, so keep that in mind. Yeah, there's only a kid when the carving man is chasing you, so you kind of know you don't have to look for anything else unless you're being chased by the man that likes to carve things. So here, because you get so many enemies chasing you, when I get to far left I like to wait, board them all up, and then just take them all out for a bunch of bones. Yeah, like this. Now in this room, just making way to the top. There are a few side rooms. For example, you can break that tree stump there on the top left, but we don't need to go up there for no reason. I mean, I think beyond there's just like a normal chest with bones on the side, but of course we don't need it on our below 1% when we do it, and then we don't need it now because we've already got it actually. Yep, just looking at something in my text guide actually. That's kind of weird. I'm looking at my text guide and I can't find September in there. Maybe I've wrote it down wrong. So up here guys, so this is where you got one of the children. So when you rescue him, the carving man is going to appear. So do not talk to him until you're ready. That's it. So first get all the bones and then chat with him. It's just my app being a bit weird. It's not taking me to where the location is in the text guide. Because you can go in the settings on the right, you can go in the find and replace bar, type in the word, and it normally takes you to it. It's quite handy if you're looking for something specific. But yeah, it's not taking me to it on this occasion, it's being a bit weird. So you want to be very careful here guys with this wind. You can't disable this wind, not with any modifiers which allow you to obtain cheats. I believe you can turn this off with certain modifiers, but like I say, they're modifiers which disable trophies. So unfortunately, when you want to get trophies, you cannot leave this on. Yeah, these tractors can get through them really quick by using the mist jar. It actually works really well with those. I'm going to take top right exit. Right, here we go. So part 10 on the other playthrough, which when we did September. So yeah, take out this guy with the tomatoes on his back, he drops a lot of bones. Yes, look at the NPC, talk to the kid on the right. Yeah, I believe we've rescued him. Yeah, so here, be very careful, the carving man is chasing you, and through here is where the kid is. There he is. So you just attack that wall, bore through the log, and you want to rescue him. There was a brief edit, because I did actually die in the stream once. Yeah, that's Squealer. Right, then you want to take top left exit back in the stream, and this will take you to Crowtown. There's no Underlab here. There is normally a Underlab. Like I say, it's not here on New Game Plus. The next Underlab is actually right at the end of this video. So that's how far you've got to go, guys, until you get to New Underlab. So what's that? About 5 minutes away. Yeah, so just take your time. It is quite easy to get killed. And also another thing is, you know the scarecrows in this area? I mean, I would have pointed it out by now if we're actually doing the Blameless ending. So don't say I left it a bit too late to tell you. But yeah, when you come in here, you also can't get any scarecrows. You know you can cut down the scarecrows to help him. You know, release the people which have been strung up on the post. Yeah, you have to leave them all up there on a blameless ending. Otherwise, that would be something else you can get blamed for. Another sin, I guess. Yeah, so the next NPC will be in the next video. That would be Gallery, the Galloway that we need to rescue. And I think that's all. Because I think one of the NPCs, you don't have to rescue them. I think it's only 3 kids you have to rescue. Yeah, I think the 4th kid just stays near the house. So he's a good little 2-shoes. A goody little 2-shoes, that one is. I think it's a small green one. So in this big farm area, I am going to try to kill all these enemies. So I'm going to hoard them all up by just getting their attention. If I basically phase through them, I'm sure they can't avoid that. So get their attention, come down here. If you tap that door and run away, an enemy will come out. Right, now I'm just going to kill them all. This should hopefully get me to another level up. And by the time we beat this boss, I think the boss of this area gives you a lot of bones. I think it's over 10k. It's a massive amount. That should get us another level up. It'd be nice if we get 2 more after this one, but I don't think that's going to happen. Right, there we go. So I'm going to do my attack, and then next up, of course, we'll go back to sidearms, defense, attack, sidearm, defense, attack. So come this house, the reason we're coming in here is we want to go into the astral area through that mirror. So first, pick up a lamp, lob it at one of these rocks to burn them, one of the wooden blocks, kill the enemies, grab their bones, and then go through that mirror on the top right. No need to go up the stairs, because it just takes you to the balcony at the top of the house, and of course nothing up there because we've already got all the trinkets and all the weapon upgrades. So come through the mirror, attack the block. There you go. So see them blocks on the right, when I hit this, the yellow one's going to disappear. And all you need to do really with these blocks is make it so you can get through that north passage. You can't jump in there because you're actually burrowing, and you have to have a solid floor to go over, because you can't jump and you're actually digging. It has to be a solid floor. If there's any gaps, you're going to fall down into the pit. Now I'm just going to kill this enemy while we're here, because he gives you about 3k, which is quite a lot. So I'm just going to kill him quickly, then go back through that same top left mirror. If you wanted to, you could actually go south here, go through the big mirror, which will take you back to the manor, and there'll be a save point just to your south, just in case you want another save point. You can't wait for the next one coming up in a few minutes. So once he's dead, back through the mirror, into the farmhouse, exit, now make way north, kill the big enemy at the top with the tomatoes on his back. Try not to pop any tomatoes if you can help it. Yeah, that's not blood on him, it's tomato juice, but yeah, take him out. That's it, and when you do kill him, make sure you do not stand on this green poisonous lob on the floor, because it will kill you. Right, got him. Just got to cut down these 3 sets of vines. When you approach the end of that blow, be careful. There's one of them screaming enemies which come out of the ground, and you don't want to get killed when you're like 3 tiles away from the save point. That's it. So kill that first one on the left, come to save point. Now at the save point, I'm just going to fall down to kill myself, because I've got no vials left. So yeah, save your game, drop off this pit, guys, to respawn yourself, and you'll get all your vials back. And there we go, and that is it for part 20. So from there, I'm just going to quit, copy my saves across, and that'll be us done until part 21 tomorrow. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey, welcome back to my Platinum walkthrough for Mina The Hollower. This is part 21. Of course, we're in September, and in this video we're going to get September finished and about 90% off Bone Beach. We're going to be very close to finishing it. So we're going to come right into this room first. The carving mount will appear, so you want to try to avoid them best you can, make your way to the southwest corner, and you want to crouch beneath this log to enter the screen. In the screen, as you can see, there's a NPC to the far left. We need to rescue one of the kiddies. Watch out for the wind, it does keep changing direction and it can be easy to forget about. You'll go to jump and forget that the wind is pushing in the opposite direction and it can easily make you fall down the pit. So yeah, talk to the MC, I think it was its squeal. But yeah, talk to the kid will move on, Carving Man will drop in, and now we need to escape. That's the final kid we need to rescue. There's 3 altogether that you have to rescue. And then you want to hop back out here, take right exit, and now we need to make our way east and then north to that switch. Press the switch and it will lower the spikes so that we can take the top right exit. If you're quick enough, when you first come back in and the Carving Man appears in front of you, you can borrow it in the corner behind him and quickly get through the lock, but I kind of hesitated and lost my window, which is why I had to bait him away. But yeah, press that switch, then come back into the middle and take the top right exit now that you've lowered the spikes. Whenever you go near those orange flowers, make sure you do move away because they will explode. Or just use your mist jar, that does the trick as well to avoid the blast. In this room, yeah, so these conduits, the one with the round base, you can pick them up by burrowing beneath them. And I think what you're supposed to do with those is just so that you can move them around so that electric doesn't keep hitting you. So you know when you're too far away from the conduit, the electric will hit you instead of the conduit. But if you move that marble one around, of course it will stop that. But with the mist jar, you don't need to worry about it because you can just use the mist jar as well in order to avoid the electric. So here, press that switch, lower spikes. Try to wait for the wind to go back to the direction you want to jump in, just so you don't fall down the pit. You've got a second switch here to lower the far right set of spikes, and you can take this far right exit. Careful in this room because the wind is always going to be blowing. There is an underlab at the top in New Game, but it doesn't show up on New Game Plus. So fewer underlabs on New Game Plus. It makes me wonder with that modifier for fewer underlabs, how little there is then, probably like 1 or 2. Unless it's just like automatically applied as one of the New Game Plus disadvantages when you first come onto it, perhaps. But this is the boss, the Carving Man. So just going to kill him like normal, using the collar and the mist jar. It should work for this guy. The boss coming up in Bone Beach, if you remember, it's the only boss this strategy doesn't really work for. But luckily it's not too hard anyway. It's like a massive brain in the middle. It's quite easy to avoid. Just got to watch out for the lasers coming on from the outside. But yeah, almost every boss can be beat with this build, except for the Bone Beach boss. And I've mentioned already the fish boss as well, but he's optional, so you don't have to fight him. Then while we're beating him, I'll just let you know, so after Bone Beach we'll go straight to Coltrane Peak. From Coltrane Peak we'll go straight to Astral Orrery, we'll come back to Ossex, and then go and crack on with Radiant Manor. Yes, it might probably take a bit longer than what I imagined it to, what I predicted. But I still should be able to do it in 4 hours, guys. I think this whole route's going to be about 3 hours long, about that. But you can always do 4-hour speed run. You can always do it on your -1% if you want to, because I am probably going to get it on both. The good thing about -1%, because we're going to do it on New Game, all the underlabs will be present. We'll be able to use the underlabs, because hopefully we're going to get a trophy in this one. We don't need to worry about any modifiers. So hopefully it's going to make that a bit easier. There we go, got him. So he'll drop quite a lot of bones. So what did I have? 8,000? Yep, so he gets you about... Wow, quite a lot. What's it, 8,000 I had? So I got about 17,000 from him, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to lose 5,000 when I do a Spark Tower. But in order to level up again, I'd have to go and farm another 15k, which I'm not going to do. So, I mean, if you want to, guys, you can. But the thing is, you just got to be careful of that speedrun trophy if you are wanting to get it out of the way in this video. Yeah, you probably can't really do any farming, actually. That'd be a good thing about below 1%. We can just farm, because the speedrun is done. If you wanted to, you could just farm until everything is at level 10. and that'll make it a lot easier. If I'm honest, we might actually do that. So that's going to lower the difficulty quite a bit, you know, to begin with. Yeah, just if we've got, you know, level 10 in defense, sidearms, and attack. Because otherwise, probably going to die in one hit. It's going to take ages to kill bosses with the collar and the mist jar. Yeah, something I'm going to consider. So watch this base regarding that. Right, so top of Spark Tower, repair it, head back down to bottom. We're going to go through the sewer, make our way back to Ossex, and then go southeast into Bone Beach. Once we've done the Astral Orrery in Bone Beach, we should be able to access the top room in that area. So we might not need to do the mirror. Yeah, we might not need to do the mirror in Coltrane Peak. Right, so I'm going to kill this big guy with the tomatoes on him. Yeah, sorry about barking. Put a dog program on for Jack to try and keep him quiet. But don't really seem to be working. Not quiet, but keep him a bit more entertained, I guess. He's not hovering around my feet. But I know that them dog program, is it good to put them on for dogs? Can you imagine it like confuses them a little bit? But anyway, once you've killed that enemy, it's going to make way through the bottom right exit. And there we go. So if you pick up any of these crates, there will be red slimes in them. So try not to if you can help it. I mean, probably not going to make much difference anyway, as long as you're quick and you get past them quickly. So bottom exit again. Now in this room, keep down the rope. I am going to kill a big enemy to the far left. Yeah, this big dude here, because they drop a lot of bones. Yeah, so there we go. Take him out. Press that switch to lower the spikes. Take far left exit. Thing is, farming on below 1%. You're not really going to have your trinkets, which makes sure you gain more bones. I mean, you can technically take them, but you need to sell. You can sell 10 items at some point to get below 1%. But I think you've got to be careful. So I think if you, I'm not quite sure, but if you sell too much, you might not get a blameless ending. I know you've got to sell one thing. I'm not quite sure exactly how much you can sell. So that's something I've got to kind of like check. But good thing about a blameless ending is you can tell if you're going to obtain it or not. Because if you go in your Underlab, in the top left corner, there's like a small it's like a spark device. And when it kind of like flashes blue, the button on the middle of it, when it flashes blue, that means you currently have not been blamed for anything. But when it just goes a normal orange colour, you know, static, does not flicker blue at all, that means you have done some sins and you will not get the blameless ending. So at least there is a way to tell, which makes it good. Right, let's kill these enemies again just because they give you quite a lot of bones. Right, and you can farm them. Yeah, they're one of the better farming spots in the game. Right, back in here, going to make way through a bottom right exit. Going to take out these big enemies. To be honest, I don't think these guys drop much bones. Find out in a minute. So what I've got 99265. Killed one, and now I've got 954. Considering their size, they don't give you hardly any. What, 250 each? Right, and now what we're going to do? Come down here, drop down to the ground where all the fire tiles are, and make way right onto the overpass and head east into Ossex. Right. Let's get ready to head into Bone Beach / Sifted Sands. So straight down here, if you need to get all your vials back, then just come to the checkpoint, go south, get knocked out by one of the enemies so you respawn, or you can just do this if you want, put on Flawless Lava. Yeah, remember, Flawless Lava will kill you. Just make sure you save your game first. And if you've got high HP, the quickest way to knock you down your HP is to just keep using the mist jar. you know, to lower your HP quicker, and then go in the flawless lava. It's probably a bit quicker. Right, I'm going to turn it back off now. That's it, now I've killed myself, got all my vials back. I'm just going to save, quit, copy my save across to another file, just in case I make any mistakes. And then we're going to jump back in. South into southern outskirts, south again. And then here, we're going to do a big jump across this pit, there we go. Just make sure you burrow, jump, and then glide with Carry the Wisp. They should make it. Then take out these enemies. Just be careful for some enemies that are trying to follow you from the stairs. They can't reach you. Well, the flying ones can. But the guy with the Ghostbusters gun, yeah, he might still shoot sometimes like that, so watch out. Right, you need to move this bounce pad over to this wall. Use it to bounce upwards. Then you want to kill the 2 red birds. Kick down the shortcut rope first on the left. Yeah, take out 2 red birds and the big enemy. This enemy will drop a lot more than them ones in Western Wilds. Try and think of the name. Is it Western Wilds? Yeah, these two. This big guy will drop a bit more. I think he drops like over 1k. Yeah, there we go. Right, once it's all dead, make way into this next room in the top right. Now, if you've got weather turned off, you need to turn it back on, because what will happen, it will stop the raindrops from coming down in this room like that, and they just help you see where the invisible blocks are. It's not like you need it. You can tell by where the small gold sprites are, but if you collect them all, it can be hard to tell. So press that switch on the left and jump across. Now, I do not want to fight any enemies in this room, because I have no idea where there's... I mean, I have a brief idea where the solid ground, because it disappears quite quick. I don't want to kill all these, and of course can't really use the mist jar, so you don't know where the good ground is. Now in this room I am going to kill this dude, just because you've got some solid ground on the right. I'm going to get his attention, wait for him to come over to me, and then just try to use the mist jar very carefully by just staying on this spot on the right and just moving back and forth. Only one mist jar at a time. So one mist jar left, one right, one left, one right, or up and down. Just try not to go into that dark pit area, so it's going to be easy to fall down. That's it. Eventually he'll hopefully come over to you like this. Right, got him. Okay, so now we need to make our way to top left corner. Make sure you heal up, just in case you do fall down a pit. But yeah, press that switch, go back across, jump onto the spikes. Yeah, there is a pit before the spikes, you'll find out in a second. There we go. So make sure you jump across. Right, up here to get back outside into the sifted sands. There's your Underlab. The next one is quite far away in Bone Beach. Right, we're going to come down here first. It's going to take out this enemy. That's it, take out these two as well. If you ever see something not look right when I come into a room, there is a few times when I do make an edit, as you know. But it's not like I'm gaining any more progress. It's just like if I go in a room and I die, I quickly close the game and reload, so I spawn back at the entrance where the autosave triggered. Yeah, I mean more like sometimes the transition may look a bit odd when I move from one room into the other. Like I might be moving with the bird, with the pet out, then all of a sudden the pet's not out. Like I say, that's likely why. And with a pet, be careful with the bombs, because for some reason the pets just like to swarm me bombs with attack. They just keep trying to lick it. So when you are trying to pick up the bombs, you might want to put pet away. You can see how annoying it is. Just attacks the bomb, just swarms it. Yeah, I think they think it's some kind of toy. It's going to play with it. There you go. I'm just going to detonate him. Right, so we're going to open this. The reason I'm going to come in here is because this cave gives you loads of bones. So what I've got 16k, well about 17. Let's see how many I have after this. So I've got 17k on entrance. So with this enemy, just kind of stick left like this, because you've got to be careful you don't dash into a pit. But as he moves away to the left, it'll give you a bit more space to face past him slightly and then back left. So you can just keep going left and right like this. That's it. And then when he's dead, make sure you stand inside his body and jump a little bit, so that when all the bones drop, you get every single one. So it's going to be quite a lot. So I had 17k, sorry, when I came in. Wow. So look at that. 3 short of levelling up. So it gives you about 3k, doesn't it, going in that room? It's not too bad. A farmer's bot, of course, but not really if you're going for the speedrun trophy, because time is limited. Right, so there we go, another bone up. So I'm going to level up attack, I guess, or defense, up to you. But always try and go for sidearm first on a new level. Okay, so we're going to get this bomb next to the south. My pet's being annoying again and attacking it. So I'm going to kill that enemy, detonate my pet. And you want to destroy this minecart to the bottom right, because that will lead us to a train station, and we're going to use the train station later to get to Coltrane Peak after finishing Bone Beach. Right, get a bomb again. Like I said, put your pet away. Doesn't listen to anything you tell it. Okay, so when you got this bomb, you want to quickly come up here. You got to almost be perfect doing this, otherwise that happens. Luckily I didn't die. Right, let's try it again. So try to glide and jump on solid ground, so you of course cover a bit more distance quicker. Yeah, destroy those minecarts. We've got one more set to destroy now, and that's on the bottom left. So down here, get a bomb again. Use it to destroy the minecarts to the left. That's it, like so. No, too late. No, too early. No, the other one was too early. Too late. This one was too early. Right, this should be it. Right, so let's do it. So I'm going to kill this enemy first in the bottom left corner. Then go through a tunnel, kill the enemy in the next room, and come back through here in that far left corner near the bomb. You could probably hit the bomb here by using, I was thinking, if you use the pet, because the pen can hit it here. Imagine if you could like somehow tweak the pet so it knocks a bomb into the minecart. It's not going to happen, I mean it's just so much quicker going through the next room anyway, like this. And you could ignore this enemy, but I'm going to kill him for a bunch of bones. Just keep using Misjar on the spikes and it shouldn't hurt you. And those green vines, you can, no need to attack them, just Misjar into them. For some reason that damages them and makes them go back into the floor. Quite a lot from that guy. Yeah, so my pet is attacking it again. I always forget about this. Right, so let's destroy this minecart. Do not forget to get a bomb afterwards, like I did. Yeah, you need to take a bomb with you. Just realised. So go back, get another bomb. Right, and blow this one. That's the final set. We can now reach the miner's den. Defeat that boss coming up. Make sure you got at least 3 vials so you can open this lock. If you need to, fall into a pit, guys, to die. So you respawn at a checkpoint to the north. Right, so in the miner's den, come down the rope, come in here, and let's defeat this boss. It's quite easy like this. The only thing you've got to watch out for is when his friends try to heal him by lobbing down a dead miner. When that happens, you want to quickly pick it up and lob it at him. But don't sacrifice a hit to do so, of course, because you'll be dead. Only do so if it's safe. And like I say, you've got to be quick before he actually tries to grab it and heal up. He does actually manage to heal once with me. I don't know if he can actually heal a certain amount of times. You know, like for example, he can only heal himself once or twice. And then his friends do not lob any health down again. I'm not quite sure. But there's one there. Just be careful when you try to pick up as well. The boss does not attack you with a spinning move. Wait for a save opportunity. Right, there goes another one. So there you go, that one I couldn't quite get. I reached it, but problem is, I think I held the button to crouch and I wouldn't. Sorry, to borrow, but he wouldn't. So I just got a bit more health back. But no more come in. So this is what I mean. I'm not quite sure if they can only heal up a few times and then the game stops giving them health. And there's no Underlab now until we get into, I think, into the beach creature. Yeah, so quite far away until we get to the next one. But I believe we can do this. And got him. So he drops 6,000 bones when we're using those trinkets we've got slotted. Out here. So I'm just going to get a few bones there, go right into the screen. And of course, no Underlab after this cutscene. There is normally Underlab in this room. So we're going to hop across. You can just borrow it and then jump, glide. In here, watch out for these purple blocks. When you hit them, they will knock you back quite far. It can knock you into pits. Yeah, and don't misjar past them, because even if you can walk past them, the misjar, I think it has like a bigger hitbox than your normal person when using misjar. So just be careful when you're trying to misjar past them, because you can actually hit them where you normally wouldn't if you're just walking normally. Right, be careful of this red bird. I'm taking him out, so I don't trust myself avoiding him without getting knocked down. And here, jump down to the far corner, hit the shortcut block, and then take this bottom exit. In here, just dash across the conveyor belt quickly, using misjar. No need to go back up top left, because you do not need any collectibles. Jump over here to bottom right, you can glide, but it's quite tight, so you might want to take a normal way by just jumping across the other platforms. I'm going to take out this fish enemy on the wall. Take a bottom exit, in here, carefully jump to this hook on the right, jump across. Now remember, these brain enemies, if you attack them quick enough before they enlarge, you can deal a lot more damage. They drop about 1k, as you can see. There you go, and I missed some of it. So there should be an Underlab here, but there isn't. So take the east exit into the mining camp. And now we're going to make our way up the mountain. And because we're not collecting anything, we're just going to go up the mountain, then go right after climbing the rope, and enter that door just above us where we are now. So that's where you need to go through to progress. Right, and the calcified caves. We're going to take out this enemy. When you drop down from that ledge, make sure you do not jump down on any spikes. I've done it a few times. You know, I've been at literally 1 HP due to misjar, and I've jumped down directly onto the top of spikes. A real schoolboy error that was. So make sure when you drop down, there's no spikes nearby. Take out enemy, come near, press the switch, and then come back and take the top exit. Once back outside, kick down shortcut on the left. Hop down here. Now we're going to go in the beached creature. There's a save point coming up in this next stream, I believe, if I remember correctly. Take out this bird. Then we want to attack that shortcut block on the left. That's it. And then enter the beached. Is this room? I'm sure this is a room. Oh yes, we've got a checkpoint up here, guys. Grab that yellow skull for more bones. Take out this enemy quickly by using your misjar and pet combo. And there's your Underlab. And this video is going to end when we come back to unlock the shortcut just before the boss. There you go. So you see this upper ledge? That leads to the boss. And this shortcut rope. We're going to make our way through the dungeon, kick down that shortcut rope, save, and then that'll be the end of the video. So yes, we are going to be right before the Bone Beach boss when we go into part 22. So I just died there actually to get my vials back. So make sure you do save for that auto Underlab first. So I'm just going to kill this enemy again, so it gives you quite a lot of bones. And it's easy to kill. There we go. Actually not too much, 680 is that all. And now I'm just going to copy my save across, just to make any severe mistakes. Yeah, I've got a backup. There you go, delete and copy. All games should allow you to copy your save data. All games should do. I know perhaps it's not good when you've got multiple endings and it allows you to get, you know, the same ones. I know reasons why developers do not want the ability to copy your save. But forgetting all that, I just think it's really useful. I mean, if your save file becomes corrupt, or you don't have PS Plus, for example, it's just really useful having a way to copy your save. Or even if you want to test things, you know, you can copy your save, you can test them out, and you got that save before you did it. But in this room, when we first entered, you might have noticed a little transition I put in. That's because I did die in here. When I respawned at the start, there was a small change, so I just put that transition there. But yes, in here, be careful of that enemy on the wall shooting you. It's quite tricky to get him, so there's no space due to the pit. I tried to get his attention, make my way to the top left corner quickly, and then just keep using Mist Jar and of course my pet. Now here, I'm just going to keep going up and down until we kill this enemy. There we go. Hop across, take top left exit. I'm going to kill this enemy as well. So you see that hook, do not Mist Jar below it because you'll automatically grab it. I've done it a few times, and of course with hooks, when you jump off them, you can't Mist Jar or glide until you land. You're kind of locked into that jumping animation. There we go, so I killed him. Now we're going to make our way through the bottom left exit. And this will take us back outside. Astral Orrery coming up. One of the final locks we need to hit in order to access the north exit in the astral area. So I'm going to drop down, kill this enemy. Make sure you don't drop down near the enemy because you'll die. Just drop down and start using Mist Jar, kill them both. Go inside the tent and just level up again to level 13. Now do not open any of these chests, there's enemies inside them, or dig where the sparkle spots are, so there'll be enemies in there as well. So hit them to disable activate the red blocks, and I'm just going to kill this enemy again. So it gives you about 2k. Just going to kill him quickly. Yeah, and if you look to the north, you should be able to make your way all the way through the north part now. But we'll do that when we come back after Coltrane Peak. Right, got him. Not quite a bone up. Oh, it gave me 3k, not too bad. So once he's dead, I'm going to come through this mirror to return to the Bone Beach. We will come here probably a lot earlier and below 1%, just because we want to get a dual syringe. Right, I did attack some shortcut blocks there to the bottom, but there's no need. Just so if you do come back up there, you can just go right a bit quicker. You don't have to drop down near the enemies. So come over here, kill two enemies. Watch you don't get trapped between any blocks as they move, because it will kill you. Just because I've got 1 HP. In here, come east. It's going to kill that brain creature. And when you drop down this pit, drop down in the top right corner. That's it, so you land on the bounce pads. Then you can bounce over to right and press switch. There we go. Lower the far west spikes. Hop down. Now take left exit, this one here, into the stomach mine. In a moment, do not Mist Jar across the scap. Do not Mist Jar across there because you'll hit that bounce pad and probably bounce back down the pit. Now here, I can use my pet and my Mist Jar and just keep facing around these conveyor belts in an anti-clockwise route, I guess, while my pet does all the work. I think you have to kill that one in the middle anyway, so that it can use this hole. Right, once you're all dead, hop in this hole to reach the upper floor. And again, no Underlab in this room. So if you die now, you've got a long way to go back. But remember, if you close the game quickly when you die, you'll spawn back and start that room, guys, which is really good on PS5. Now we're going to take out this miner to the north. That's it. And we're going to jump down into this square hole, this one here. You'll land on that switch, press it, that will lower the first set of spikes. Then you want to go down the hole again, go back up to top floor, and then you need to drop down in the bottom right, where you can access the second switch almost. And you probably notice I'm not really using my pet here, just because there's not many enemies we need to defeat. Now with these hooks, just remember, when you jump from a hook, you cannot glide. So make sure you are jumping close enough, and then drop down the bottom right like this. You'll land on this ledge, hit the shortcut blocks to the left, hop across to the tile, that pressure plate, press the pressure plate, hop back across, and jump back over here quickly before the bounce pad drops off the end. Press that second switch to retract the final set of spikes, and then drop down here. So we're now in the gut depths. So again, you probably saw notice transition. I did die once here as well. So this bit's quite annoying, and sometimes you'll find if you're using your Mist Jar too much, you run out of HP with no way to get your plasma back up. So I'll use it sometimes. Like here, you want to fully charge your hammer. Then you can hit 3 of them blocks and kill all the enemies pretty much. Just going to keep my health topped up just in case I do drop down. That's it, hop across here once the wooden platforms come out. Try and grab all the bones along the way. So you're not going to get anywhere any quicker anyway, so you may as well grab the bones. Right, this top right wooden platform will come out when there's only one wooden platform on the left, the ones you were just on. There's some strong enemies coming up, so be ready for your pet and your mist jar. Probably should have healed here actually. So there you go, that enemy. Try to hit him with a fully charged hammer. And I was facing upwards because he always dives to the right. So you face upwards, go down quickly, and hopefully you can hit him, not like I did. Mess it up slightly, took too much damage. But yeah, we're going to kill him. Carry on down here. Now it's going to be a few more enemies coming up. There's 3 of these kind of like big brain enemies. Now about 1 hit and a fully charged attack from your hammer will normally kill them. But yeah, you do have to be careful. They bounce around quite a lot. And got them all. Healed up. Let's get all my health back. You need to hop across here quickly, these hooks, before the the platform goes beneath the wall. And of course, when you jump across, make sure there's space on the left to jump. I'm going to take out this miner quickly. Try to use fully charged attack. Try if you kill him at once. If my pet was out, that would have probably killed him, so my pet would have damaged him once. Now be careful here. Yep, try not to be as slow as what I was. Yeah, there's normally an Underlab there as well where I respawned. But it's not there on New Game Plus. Right, quickly make sure you drop down on that conveyor belt. Smash the shortcut block. That's it, they can attack these. Get some bones. Make sure the walls have come together first, just so your bones don't bounce all over the place. They'll come straight to you then. Down here quickly, borrow and jump to this hook. There's a weak wall you can break there, but it doesn't really take you to any shortcut, just some golden bones. Right, we're almost at the end. Almost at our Underlab, guys. The one just before the boss. Right, wait for the wall to go back out. Quickly go past these spikes. You do want to try to keep your health high at this point, so some annoying enemies. So you've got this enemy, one of the gas ones, and you've got one of them brain enemies coming up. You can hit him with a charged attack, you can almost kill him. And he only needs a few more hits. Got some floating bones you can try and grab by just moving close. Right, she's got a brain enemy now. Try and take him out. Completely missed. This is the last enemy, guys, before the boss. Right, and now carefully, if you're worried about dying, then just go through that pit to get the Underlab. But I'm going to get these golden bones on the bottom right. Jump in this pit, kick down shortcut rope, and that's it. So that pit to the top, that takes us to the boss. And after saving your game, guys, at Underlab, is going to quit, make a copy, ready for the next part tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on part 22. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Part 22, back onto Mina The Hollower. My Platinum walkthrough. We're still in Bone Beach. We're about to make our way north and engage the boss. If you haven't done so already, and you need to refill all your vials, just make sure you do it now. Yeah, so I've only got 5, so I'm going to kill myself. I'll respawn, and I've got 10 ready for the boss. There is going to be an Underlab just before the Spark Tower, after the boss fight, but after that there's not going to be one for quite a while. I'm going to go through the next area, probably about halfway through it. It's when you'll find your next Underlab, so it's going to be quite a distance between the one at the Spark Tower and the next one in Coltrane Peak. So once you're ready, come this hole and come to Brain Outgrowth. So if you remember from your first playthrough, the pet does not really work on this boss. It's the only boss it doesn't really work on other than the fish boss. So you just want to keep your mist jar selected, because it still comes in useful at times, just not the pet. And you want to keep making way around the brain and attack all the eyes. When you see the blue sparks, that means a blue lace is about to come out that you'll want to dodge. The red sparks mean it's going to be a ring. which you can just wait and burrow inside it. And you can actually defeat the eyes on the outside of the screen. They do come back after a brief time, but it just means you don't have to worry about that eye for a while. And they're kind of like dragon bones which come out, the serpent bones. You can attack them. If you hit the head as it comes towards you with a fully charged hammer attack, not if it's fully charged, start the half charge, that can in one go. And once the boss is almost dead, you'll start doing this attack. It'll bounce around 3 times and do a different bunch of attacks. It might leave the trail of lava. It might bounce around like this. Just be careful because the walls are still trying to squash you, and it will shoot lasers out of the other eye sockets as it's moving. What I like to do is just when he's jumping around or moving around, dash through him with Mist Jar, wait for him to stop. Remember, it always does 3 times. Then when he stops, quickly attack the eye once or twice if you can, and start dodging the next attacks. Just make sure you keep spamming that Mist Jar button so that you do go through every single attack. If you don't spam it quick enough, you will get hit and you will die. Them walls can be quite annoying. I've been caught by them quite a few times. Especially when I'm about to do an attack and then I see the wall coming. Don't really get a chance to dodge out of the way. Right, one more hit and he is gone. There we go, destroy the brain. So that's Bone Beach. We've got Coltrane Peak, Astral Orrery, and Radiant Mana left to do. And so I've got to level up, so I'm actually going to go for my sidearm. Yeah, then when we get to Coltrane Peak, I'm going to do sidearm again before I take attack and defense up to 14. Just because I want to be doing a bit more damage. It's because that's my main form of attack. Right, so once you burst out, come north, go west. Yes, as you can see, there's no Underlab to the far right like there is normally. So just Mist Jar across all these. After all, there's going to be a Spark Tower, and it won't really matter at that point if you're low in HP. What I also found, which I didn't really know before, is if you leave the train until the very last minute, you know, when it comes to depositing the 10 grand, you don't actually have to pay anything. So if you've done all the Spark Towers and Coltrane Peak is the next one, yeah, it completely skips the, or maybe it's because I already have, actually, yeah, it might be getting ahead of myself there. It might be because I already have the train ticket from 100%. I bet that's why. Yeah, and the reason I've not used the train yet is because for Blameless Ending, you can only use it once. So that's what I've been trying to get around without relying on the train. Again, to practice for that -1% playthrough, Blameless Ending. So the tower is done. Once back down at the bottom, I'm going to go left into Sifted Sands, smash that shortcut. You see that enemy line near the entrance you came through. Do not attack him. If you attack him, it voids the Blameless Ending, because that's another sin you must avoid. I'm going to talk to Ticketer. The train's going to come down. I'm going to take a ticket to Coltrane Peak. Coltrane Peak is the only place you can travel to, and only once if you're going for a Blameless Ending. And if you die to the boss, going to Coltrane Peak again afterwards doesn't count. You're allowed one, like I say, you're allowed one visit on the train. But when it's a boss, it doesn't matter. It will still count as the same visit. It's not like every time you retry him, it counts as the second one or third, fourth. Right, so here we are. The Fateful Cliff. Your fate is about to be decided. So this arena will start getting smaller. It will eventually get quite small, and you can quite easily dodge off when using the Mist Jar, so be very, very careful. I've done it a few times. The thing is, when I have done it, I think I've been I thought I was completely safe, and was nowhere near the end. And then all of a sudden, I've just dropped off the end. So just be very, very careful. It might look like you've got plenty of space, even when it's the arena is at its smallest. But it's smaller than you think. Coltrane Peak probably isn't... I was going to say it's probably not a big area, but maybe it is. It's going to take us, what, 20 minutes to get through it? The thing with Coltrane Peak, it's not like 2 areas like most of the ones. For example, you've got Kindlewood, Septemberg, you've got Backwaters, Noxus Bayou, You've got Sifted Sands, Bone Beach, and what's your one? Mourner's Smile, and Queensbury Crypt. Yeah, this is just all one Coltrane Peak. So it's kind of like one area, I guess, in a way. But after this, we'll be back into Ossex, and it's got the Astral Orrery, where we go through that big mirror, and then the Radiant Manor afterwards. I wish we could have done a blameless ending on this. Would have been nice to be able to skip that final area. Because it's one of the worst ones, but there's not really much we can do about it. We could have left all the fish till last thing in 100%. And then made a save afterwards. Or could have even got him in this. No, we couldn't have got him in this photo. For a blameless ending. But yeah, could have gone from last just for the trophy. And then we loaded the save before we got them all. And took that one into New Game Plus. If that is the only thing which is stopping us from getting it in this playthrough New Game Plus. But anyway, once you beat Thorn, again, come down the mountain, you'll drop onto the train which is frozen in place. Snowpiercer. Right, going to make our way down into the peak. No Underlab there, as you can see. Remember to be careful on this ice. When you bolt into it, you seem to not be able to get out straight away. You have to kind of move a few tiles first, so try not to bolt if you can help it. Did not mean to do that. Right, and so the enemies in that room, them snowmen, I don't like to kill the snowmen because they just take too long when using the pet in the mist jar. Because to kill them you have to attack the heads, and the pet might keep going for the body parts, and then it'll spawn more, and you're back to square one again. So yeah, I normally like to just leave the snowman. Killed all the enemies in this room. Up here next. Be very careful on these glass ice platforms, or very thin ice, should I say. You remember, if you step on them for too long, they will break. They will respawn eventually, but just watch out for that. Right, climb this rope. Going to go left, kick down this shortcut rope over here, just in case you do die. That's it. Jump back. Then we're going to skate along these rails with my mouse paws. There'll be 3 of these rabbit ninjas here. Just going to get all their attention and kill them all at once, pretty much. You know, this week's going to be an interesting week. We're going to get PS Plus Essential games announced, what the lineup will be for August. And the big game's going to start releasing. I think the first one this week will be The Relic First Guardian. And of course, a week after, I think it's Beta Reincarnation, is it? Then we've got Sinking City 2, Mortal Shell 2, Metal Gear Solid, Volume Collection 2. Yeah, there's a lot of number 2s releasing in August. So I killed them all. Now be very careful doing this. Make sure you've got full health, because that will probably happen. Right, I did it. So in this room, you've got a big enemy trapped in the ice block. Going to kill him, so he'll drop a lot of bones. The guy in the green jacket. You get quite a bit, 1.5k. Like, get those bones and take off exit. Watch out for the spikes. The enemy might spawn like that. He had spikes blocking the exit. That's quite sneaky, but I noticed them. Yeah, I see what he's doing, but then we have to be quite observant with these enemies. So kill that wolf. I'm going to jump across to the right to kill these enemies next. Another wolf and one of those spinning snowballs. Then once you get to the top left corner, once it's safe to do so, break that shortcut block, and then if you do die you can get along here a bit quicker. There is a save point coming up, guys. It's a few rooms away, so just hold on a bit longer. We are almost there. If you died now, you'd be all the way back at that Spark Tower, back in Bone Beach. Yeah, I knew that snowball would come back. That's why I hadn't pursued it. Right, got them all. So let's open the shortcut. There we go. Climb the rope. So after this room, it's going to be your Underlab, guys. Come on, we're almost there. So in the rail yard, be very careful. You probably want to refill your health like I did, because it's quite easy to take damage here. And we need to make our way to the top right corner and enter this cave. And there we go, the Underlab, the Icebound Cavern. That's the only Underlab in Coltrane Peak, by the way. So I'm going to turn on Floor is Lava. I love playing this game in Mina. There you go, you've got a game within a game there. Just make sure you do trigger the autosave on the Underlab before you start playing Floor is Lava. I can imagine you do it a bit too early. I didn't realise you didn't step on it and you respawned back at Bone Beach. So I'm going to copy my saves there as always. Right, and let's go. 10 hours 30. So what time was it when we completed? I know the overall time on your save file, it counts the whole time from every single playthrough. But the 4 hours will kind of start again. You just need to remember what your time was at when you finish the game. I think mine was at about 8 hours 30. So far I've played for 2 hours. So I've got about 2 hours left. I've got what, 2 more dungeons and a half before I finish the game. So yeah, it should be doable still. Like I said, I think I'm going to finish at about 3 hours, give or take. But it's just going to be so nice not having to have too much pressure on our below 1%. You know, that should hopefully be the only trophy we have to worry about on that playthrough. Completing the game with below 1% items. I was actually reading somewhere as well where somebody was saying it might be a thing that bosses scale depending on how many items you've collected as well. I mean, I'm not entirely sure yet until I begin the below 1%. But yeah, they were saying when they did below 1%, it seemed like the bosses went down quicker than when they did 100%. So maybe it's like a hidden scale thing they have going. They've just not told us. Yeah, enemies also scale depending on how much percentage you have in terms of game completion. You know, collected things. So hopefully that is the thing. And the boss is not going to take ages to kill. In this bit, if you do want to kill the enemies, just be very careful. Loads of ice around, and if you use the mist jar, you could easily be moving between them, and you might stand on them for too long. And I accidentally fell down that drop. Could have been worse, could have been down a pit, and I could be dead. I'm losing all the good bones down the pits. Right, got them all up here. With this pit, make sure you come to the middle first. If you try and go all the way to the end in one go, you'll die unless you jump. Because if you jump when on this thin ice, it will slowly break instead of like breaking really quick. Because it only starts to break when you're standing on it. If you jump, it's a bit better to get across them. Now, so you got this boss next. Forgot its name now. But the main boss of this area drops about, I think it's about 16,500 bones. I guess, assuming you don't get hit at all. I think I did get hit right at the end. Or did I? Can't recall. Because remember, the final boss, you can use the mist jar for like the first 80% of the fight. And then you have to start using your hammer. But this is like your midway boss, you can't avoid this guy. And just make sure that when you beat this boss, do not relax, because it will do like a fire attack right now. So right now it's about to do a fire attack, but you didn't get a chance because I left the area. Now get these gold bones. Don't know why that happened. Oh, it's because I'm in the ice. And about to level up, so I'm going to hold on and wait until I'm at 30,000, and I'm going to level up sidearm again. So shortcut there on the left we can unlock later. When the spiral summit, I'm going to kill these enemies at once. Yeah, these orange spikes, you can actually kill them by using the mist jar to face through them. I'm not quite sure why the mist jar kills them, but it does. So I'm not going to be complaining about that. Yeah, it's like the mist jar kills those rolling eyeballs as well and bone beach. Any enemies you can't normally kill with your weapon, the mist jar usually works. Now be very careful here. And they make way up the top left rope. Got more rabbit ninjas in this area. I'm going to take them out before I move on, because their shurikens will go through blocks like that. So it's best to just take them out. Otherwise it's going to get shuriken between your cheeks as you're trying to run away and climb the mountain. Take out this one next, but carefully don't dodge off the end. Right, here I like to jump and glide onto this bit here. But you have to make sure you wait until the last moment to jump. Of course, you've got less distance to cover. Climb top right rope. Up here, kill this massive caterpillar wolf. Whatever it's supposed to be. Yeah, once you kill the wolf pillar or sausage wolf, yeah, going to come on this platform, ride it to the end, then quickly use it to burrow beneath our chain. We're almost at the top. Just going to heal up in case I fall down or something or get hit by a flying dagger. And I'm about to level up as well. I think I end this area with probably about 15,000 unfortunately, which I have to deposit, but it's not really much I can do about it. You can't really backtrack in this area like some of the others due to the train. So you get to the end and realise you're so close to level up, and there's a shortcut here by the way. Yeah, you get to the end and realise you're so close, you can't backtrack to fill it up because there's nowhere to really backtrack to. So once on the train, on the Agnes Express, we're lucky to catch this one as it moves really fast, one of those bullet trains. So I'm going to take out the enemy. To be honest, actually, you know when you go through that, when you go back through that pit, it just launches you back onto the mountain. So I guess maybe you could. But the thing is, there's no close underlab. The underlab is really far away. So I guess that's why you don't really want to do it. So I'm going to stay on this middle track, kill these two enemies, and then I can kill all the other ones by just using my mist jar. Just get a few more bones. But sidearms at 15 now, so that's good. Now this room can be quite tricky to get through, so just take your time. I'm going to kill all the enemies that I come across. You've got the ninja rabbit, then you've got the knight, the ice knight over here. I'll take him out next, or her out. Not quite sure what's hiding behind it. Probably it's like a ninja rabbit underneath all that armour. Yeah, the rabbit knight. That's lucky. You see, I just managed to hit that dagger probably a split second before it's about to hit me. Right, so once in the front cab, I'm going to take out this big wolf in the middle there. The underlab in the far right of this room, it is not present. You probably remember that you can go through the crawl space and go to hidden space to the far right. Yeah, there's nothing there unfortunately, guys. No underlab. I'm going to take him out. There's a vial in that lower small ice block. I'll go and grab it in a second. Let's take out this dude first. Just watch out for them spikes. They will eventually break. You don't want to get caught in them when they kind of all split up and shoot off. Right, ring the bell 3 times and the boss will spawn. Locomotress Agnes. So you can use the pet and the mist jar for most of the fights, but when you get to the end, it will make the floor disappear when this laser comes out from its mouth. So what I like to do then, I just switch to my hammer, and I just jump across it, hammer him, jump across, hammer him or her. And as you move along the top of the train, the roof you get is random by the way. So for example, now I've got a roof with some pipes on the side. Sometimes you get a roof with like stones in it, which means you can't burrow. You get a roof with small holes in the middle, which you have to avoid. You get a roof where there's a long hole on the top and on the bottom, and you can only go along the middle path. Yeah, so many random different roofs you can get. So for example here, you've got stones. I mean, I'm guessing I can't burrow. I've not tried, but it looks to me like I can't burrow in that. That's the whole point of stones. We can burrow into a metal roof, but not into a pack of stones, it seems. Got a pipe one again then. Like I say, when the boss is at about a quarter HP remaining, that's when it'll enter her last phase. That's a clear roof there, it's quite lucky. Another one. We're just going to stay here now until you knock her health down enough. Right, here we go. Right, so now I'm going to heal up. I always heal up at this point, and I'm just going to hammer. Yeah, try not to fall down. So I've probably lost a big bonus there of bones. So just keep jumping across, attack the ice. That's it, that's all you need to do, quite simple. Yeah, I can't believe I took one hit just because I fell down the trapdoor. Right, Agnes has a big mouth. Right, keep down the rope on the right. Come down, go beneath the train guys and make our way north to the Spark Tower. So what am I? 3,500 off, unfortunately not quite going to have enough. There is some bones on the lead up to the Spark Tower, but it's not many. Got probably a couple of hundred. And there's your Underlab at the base of the frozen generator. Once ready, jump in and let's do a tower climb. One more of these to do, and the final one of course will be the boss Lionel when you fight him again. You don't have to go through some of the holes like I'm doing. It's just mainly to slow down the electric following me up the tower. Remember, you can misjar through those enemies. And there we go. So we're at the top. Yeah, I am going to get over 25k unfortunately, but I can't level up with it. I don't know why I don't let you do that. I wish it did. Okay, it's going to head back down. Now it's going to make our way to Ossex, and that'll be it for part 22. So hopefully we can get these last two dungeons done, guys, in the next two videos. We're not going to get all of them done in one. Yeah, we're not going to get Astral Orrery and Radiant Mana done all in one video, I doubt it. But I can't see it being any more. So if you do want to get all the bones in this area, you need to take your time, remember. As you fall down the pit, you're going to drop onto a lower level, but in the same spot pretty much. I did try my best, but I think I did even go down the wrong hole and eventually miss a bunch of bones, but I'm not going to go back up for them. It's not a massive amount you're going to miss if you just miss a few. You probably get more from the enemies than what you do the actual bone pickups. Yep, just kind of missed it there. Never mind. Right, take out these two. Then just go through Eastern Heath. And then back into Ossex. Keep down that shortcut rope. Hop down here. Yeah, try not to die. If you die here, you're going to go all the way back to the base of the Spark Tower. Big jump here. Just burrow it and then jump and glide. Right, keep dashing down. You'll dash straight across that pit, down the rope. Go left over the bridge, carry on left into Ossex. Do not attack Maxi. Remember, for Blameless Ending, you cannot kill her. Right, into the High Street, into City Centre, and then down to save point. Just going to get my vials back first. Make sure you touch it so it makes it safe. Turn on Flawless Lava, walk on the lava, die, turn it off, trigger another autosave, guys, then we'll copy our saves across. and we'll be ready for the next one. Right, and that's it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on part 23 tomorrow. Hey, welcome back to part 23. 2 more videos to go and New Game Plus should be done, and all that will be left after that is the below 1% playthrough. The insanity of that one. But it shouldn't be too bad, because it's the only thing we're going to have to worry about, so it doesn't matter if we take a bit of time, you know, do a bit of this and that along the way, try and make it a bit easier. But what we're doing right now, we're making our way to Astral Orrery. We're going to get this dungeon completed in this video, then in part 24, the final one for New Game Plus, we'll get the Radiant Mana completed. And by the way, the time this takes me altogether is 3 hours. So you've got 1 hour to spare altogether by following this. I thought we'd get it done a bit quicker than that. But yeah, 3 hours is what it seems to take altogether. And I do manage to get to max level, but only just. Probably have about 20k extra. So it was probably worthwhile having those trinkets equipped, which increases your bone drops from enemies, because without those we probably wouldn't have got to max level. I don't know, like I say, we did have 20k extra at the end, so we could have, but I'm sure we've got a lot more than that throughout the game due to those extra trinkets. But anyway, once you're in the Astral Orrery, we're first going to come to the north to trigger this Underlab. This is the only Underlab in this region. Yeah, the only Underlab. So to keep that in mind. Good thing about this one though is because this is kind of like a hub area for this whole dungeon. You know, you got 4 separate side areas in all the corners, and after each one you'll come back here. So you can really nicely go back to the Underlab, restock, get all your vials back after each sub area you complete along the way. So I just fell down. I am trying to grab a few bones along the way. Probably a bit pointless if I'm honest, but I'm doing it anyway, I guess. I didn't quite know just how many bones I was going to get at the end of it until we got to the end. Right, so jump in here, and yep, we're going to do a mutant lab first. So of course, watch out for being killed by enemies when you're using the mist jar. I am still using the mist jar where I can, but I'll always be using this mist jar along with the pets. We're going to try and do this on the below 1%. I'm hoping it's going to work quite well. The route is going to be very, very similar to what we've done here. And when you get to Radiant Mana on this playthrough, you'll find out any sins you've made. So you kind of know where you went wrong, and you can make sure you do not make the sins on the game. On the below 1%. Get the playthroughs mixed up there. Now the ones I did commit on this, the sins, kind of knew about them anyway. So it tells me I broke 25 not street lamps, 25 candles. You can only break 4 candles, remember. So I've got to make sure I do not break any more than that next time. I also kick the can. You know the can in the Ossex City Centre that the 2 kids are kicking around. If you touch that can, that also commits a sin. So you've got to be really careful with that. And the thing with that can, and I'm not quite sure this counts, is when you fight a thorn near the fountain just before Radiant Mana, the final dungeon, the can is still on the floor. I know all the NPCs have gone, but the can is still there and you can still kick it. Now I'm not quite sure if that counts as kicking the can or not, so that's something else you've got to watch out for. So even during that boss fight, you've got to make sure you do not kick the can. And what else was it? Oh yeah, for not paying all the beggars. So around Ossex and around some of the dungeon areas, there'll be NPCs you can talk to, and you can give them bones just because they request it for whatever reason to fuel their drug habits. I don't quite know. But if you don't give all the bones to all those beggars, that also commits a sin. So that's another one. I also committed a sin for not giving Pawnty, for not buying any, not selling anything to him. That commits a sin. But that's quite an easy one to avoid. And I think my other one was for, of course, getting all the fish, which you already have from our first playthrough, all the trophies. So yeah, I think that's it. So not really too much to look out for. It wasn't too bad, I don't think. Those things are going to be easy to fix on below 1%. I mean, of course, watch out for candles. Do not kick the can. Make sure you sell something to Pawnty, and also make sure you give all the beggars the money they request. So that's probably what we've got to watch out for, all the beggars. So I've got to try and figure out where they all are. Because like I said, there's some, they're not all in Ossex. There are a few outside of Ossex that you need to pay. So in this room, you've got to be very, very careful. Yeah, I don't like this room. I normally do die in here quite a lot. But I don't think I died in it this time. Quite lucky. The thing that makes this room a bit difficult is you've got that enemy which is spawning the enemies. So as soon as you spot him, you want to try and take him out quickly. And with these cubes, remember, if you can kill him before they hit you, you won't have to do a little mini game inside him. Now this chest, you can loot him. There's nothing like a key item inside. All it is bones and a vial, I think, and a plasma rose. So yeah, you can loot those chests, just not affect your tracker if we are going for below 1% later. Now once you've got a cube, come back north. Remember, lob this at spikes in order to destroy him. It's quite a random item, this. Just a random cube that just seems to destroy spikes and those lasers. Who would have thought? Maybe it's Frank from God of War Laufey. But yeah, come up here and into this room. Now you can destroy those spikes, and that's the first sub area completed. The second one is pretty quick, but there is a boss fight, and this boss fight is a lot harder on this difficulty. It's going to kick down these ropes, of course, hit the switch to remove the blocks of that colour, and now we're in the Hall of Scholars, the top left side area. So take out this dude first, the disc thrower. Right, make sure you got full health, and they drop down here ready for the boss. So I was quite lucky here. I think I managed to do it first time when I was recording. I'm basically playing this on 3 accounts. I've got my recording, I've got my final practice, and then another account where I'm kind of like figuring out the route. My first account, when figuring it all out, I died here so many times. So it might take a few tries, guys, but just remember, if you do die, quickly close the app and open it again, and the time will not save. Probably one of the best tips, I think, actually, that. I don't know how to do it on Steam. Whenever I try to close the app on Steam, it don't quite work because it always plays in the background. Maybe that's a setting, actually, where when you click on a different window, it suspends the background app. Perhaps, maybe that's what I need to look at on Steam. But anyway, so I just leveled up after beating the boss. Did I kill it without getting damaged? Maybe. Yeah, back out here, so I'm going to destroy the pink blocks now. So that's the green and the pink one's done. Next up, I'm going to do the bottom right, and then the top right. And then we can make our way towards boss. Boss ain't too bad on this one. If you remember, he's got 3 stages. The first 2 stages, you can use a pet. But a third stage, you can still use a pet, but you can't use a mist jar. So you kind of have to defeat him normally. But he's a lot weaker, and your pet can still come in handy during that part. You know, while you're trying to evade the boss, and your pet does all the work for you. Right, be careful going along here. You've got a purple blob, so you want to try and take out if you can. If not, don't worry too much. The main objective is to get to the other side, kill this enemy, and then take the bottom right exit. In this room, this enemy with a disc, with our trinkets, if you do manage to kill him, his bones are probably just going to go into the pits, so just find it best to avoid him. Take out this red blob next. Get all these bones if you want to, and then take the bottom left exit. We need to get that cube in order to destroy these blue lasers. Right, destroy those blocks, the melons. Yep, didn't manage to hit that one. So the minigame, watch out for these minigames. I can't remember if you can actually die in these, if you lose all your HP. I think you can. And I hate those blue holes. So those blue holes they spawn, you can't jump over them. And I can't remember if you can burrow beneath them either. You have to completely avoid it by going around them, I think. Now once you've got a blue cube, you can use it to destroy the blue lasers, and you can reach the bottom left exit. If you want to, use it to destroy the other enemies. It should kill them more than one hit. They don't really give you many bones. It's what, 300? Right, bottom left exit. Now this room, this is good because you don't have to do anything here. You can just go straight for the exit, which is in the top right corner. If you remember, on our 100%, we spent a lot of time in this room, so there's loads of different paths in the corner, loads of cubes to destroy. But yeah, just go straight for the top right exit, guys, like so, if you just want to get through it. Now, you see them 3 pillars at the top left? The middle one has a laser block in there. I don't know why. I mean, I did think maybe you can bring a cube and destroy it, but I don't know how you get a cube to it. So I don't quite know why that laser block is hidden in the pillar. It's a bit of a weird one. How do you think you'd get one of those cubes there? Maybe if you're behind the... You know, because we have to burrow beneath that chain just before coming into this room. So of course you can't carry anything past there. But maybe if you go to the side of the chain before destroying the cube, and it can bounce through it before it hits you, and some little mini game. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not quite sure if that will work or not. But I just don't know why that laser is hidden in the pillar, because it doesn't really do anything. What's the point? But anyway, we're down here, almost in the mirror. So I'm going to take out this enemy, so drop quite a lot of bones. If you get him without getting hit, but I think he just hit me right at the end. Sorry, right at the beginning, unfortunately. So I'm not going to quite get as many bones as I could have. But I still get like 2k from him. Yep, and when we fight Lionel later, it's a very long fight. But I'm so glad we don't have to fight him again if we're going to go for the blameless ending on below 1%. Yeah, it takes ages. His fight, each stage probably... I mean, fight him twice, don't you? Fight him in the arena at the bottom. I'm just killing myself there, guys, to restock. Touch a save point first. You fight him in that lower room, don't you? And you fight him again as you ascend the Spark Tower. And that fight goes on for about 5 or 10 minutes. And also the one in the room below. So yeah, most of the final video of New Game Plus is going to be fighting Lionel, no doubt. Yeah, so watch out for those blue spheres. He likes to spawn, guys. Right, so in this room, be very careful. Remember, you got these like starfish type enemies now, shooting projectiles at you. Now, the thing about this room is when you come back in later, most of these enemies will have despawned, so you don't quite have to kill them all. I mean, it's up to you. Right, top right exit. All you want to do here is hit that purple switch to make the purple portals appear and make your way back to the top left. Try to make sure that, well, it doesn't really matter if you're doing the close app trick, but if you was to die before getting to the end and activating the green blocks, you'd have to come all the way back here again. So yeah, try not to die doing this, guys, if you're not doing the closing app trick. Yeah, I remember messing this up, getting warped all the way back to the top right. So take your time, jump back if you need to, you know, as you wait for a better way to jump across, for the portals to line up better. Right, be careful here. Sometimes they have jumped across and jumped straight into that portal. So see those two portals coming back towards you, just jump back a bit and wait. Now here, yes, so go south. And there's the switch on the left which will activate the green blocks. There we go, green blocks activated. So now if you was to die and respawn at the end of that, if you come back here, you can get through this area a bit quicker because the green blocks are now activated. Because you can see on the top left, you can just burrow beneath that chain, guys, and drop down. Okay, so in this room, try and take your time. I am going to be killing all of those disc enemies. If you are using the Mistjar, try and use the D-pad like this so you can go in a straight line. If you use the analog stick, it's hard to remain straight, I found. You do want to hit all the switches along the way. It just makes it easier to navigate when you've got all the blocks to jump between. This will be so different when we do this with modifiers, because you can't drop down pits, so you can just fly along the old screen. It's pretty rad actually. So it's a bit easier to Mistjar across these platforms now that I've activated them all. Right, once he's dead, I'm going to carry on up here. Just going to heal up, just in case I do take a bit of damage. Because sometimes these starfish enemies can catch you off guard when you go to hit them, and they also shoot a projectile in your direction as well. But I don't know why, but your pet seems to kill them in one hit, which I found a bit odd. So I'm pretty sure they've got more HP than that. Or maybe they're weak on New Game Plus, I don't quite know. Yeah, I'm going to try and kill them all. Don't know why, so I'm losing all their bones into the pits. But anyway, so this is the last mirror, I believe. Is it the last mirror? So there you go, we can now access that mirror in the middle. It's the last mirror from a sub area. Now we can take the final route through the middle and make our way to the boss. So yeah, at the save point, I just used the Mistjar to lower my HP. I'm just going to kill myself to get all my vials back. Sparks all the way over there, just want to make sure I get that. Do not forget to reclaim your sparks if you do die. It's easy to forget a spark and not remember where it is. I've done it on my account where I was kind of routing it, because I wasn't really bothered about sparks or losing bones. And then eventually I was like, I'm missing a spark, where is it? So yeah, watch out for that. Done it quite a few times. Okay, so in this room, you can hit these switches multiple times. You'll remember this anyway from your first play. Yeah, you don't have to wait for them to almost be deactivated. Just hit the same one again. You do it a repeated amount of times in order to just keep activating them and resetting the timer. The timer is very short. I don't know if it's shorter than it is on New Game. Can't remember. It does seem a bit shorter than what it normally is, so maybe it's a bit shorter on a New Game Plus. And when you do jump across here, just watch out for the blue spheres that enemy is spawning. I'm going to take him out. Right, almost at the end. This should be the last leg. Yeah, you can reach those ones from that. Yeah, and watch out for that, guys. Make sure if the platform is moving fast and swinging from side to side, don't jump off it like I did. Yeah, that's a schoolboy error. Almost did it again. So you need to keep hitting these until the portals kind of line up again for you to jump up to that ledge. Right, there we go. So in this room, do not jump on the cracked flooring because you'll go straight through even if you don't borrow. Just a simple jump will make you fall through it. So you've got to wait, and if you wanted to, you can break all the weak walls that you're going to pass by. But all that's behind them is a few bones and some enemies. Right, come in here. I avoided those queues by just using the Mistjar to face past them all. This room I am going to take out the big knight. I think this last one will be fighting. Yeah, because Radiant Manor has a whole different bunch of enemies. And then after this guy will be the boss. And I'm almost ready to level up. Damn, look at that. 95 off the level up. Okay, so this dude again. Yep, the congealed. Remember, he's got three stages actually. You can attack him with your pet and Mistjar combo for the first two stages, quite easy. But third stage, the floor disappears and you've got 6 platforms, and it's a moving ones with the arrows that move in the direction you're running in. And his head will float around, shooting fireballs at you, and sometimes charging. Because you're on small platforms in the 3rd phase, during that you don't want to use the mist jar because you might accidentally fall down the hole. And at the same time, of course, the mist jar is knocking your health down really quick. You can keep sidearm out. I mean, he will be knocking your health down, but it's at a much slower rate, and it's nice anyway because you'll be damaging the boss. And 3rd phase, he doesn't have much HP, so your sidearm does actually really help. And then just while you're trying to evade him, just go for some heavy attacks if you can with your hammer, and hopefully you'll get him before he kills you. Heal up your swell if you need it. I do heal up I think once or twice on 3rd phase, so I get close to losing my health. You know, I've almost never learnt any of these boss fight strategies. I think the only boss I've learnt is Brain Alcove. You know, Brain Beats, because you have to. Every other boss I've never learned in. I guess other than Thorn. Well, the boss you have to fight before you get the mist jar or dual syringe. Yeah, I guess I probably fought those, but they're quite simple anyway because they're early game bosses. I can imagine this fight being quite difficult with 2 bosses to fight at this stage. Or Lionel at the end being a bit of a nightmare. We fight him legit with no cheese. So on the 3rd phase, the boss will appear where you defeat them. And so see that head there? That's where the boss is going to appear from. So try to get ready to attack that head. That's it for charge attack. And I just boned up. You are going to lose bones after this fight, remember. So if you are very close to bone up, you might want to wait until you can level up 30. You know, a 30k one, just so you lose less bones. So you can see the pet does do quite a bit of damage to him. So if you try and stay reasonably close so the pet can reach, that might work, and then just evade him the best you can. And got him. So grab all the bones, then we're going to make our way to the Spark Tower. This Spark Tower, there is going to be a lot of purple portals. Actually try to climb it, try not to touch them. I have actually realised you can actually die during these Spark Tower climbs. You can't see your health, but if you keep using Mist Jar, it will knock your health down. And eventually, if you get hit when you got 1 HP, you'll die. But you might not even realise you got 1 HP, so of course you can't see your health bar. I thought maybe you couldn't die during these, but yeah, it seems you can. There's an Underlab at the bottom, so it don't really make much difference anyway. I mean, if you hit a portal, you get knocked down to bottom. If you hit the blue electric, you get knocked down to bottom. And if you die, you get knocked down to bottom. Just the Underlab, which is at the bottom anyway. So once at the top, of course, same thing as always. Repair the generator. Have a bit of a nap. And head back down to the bottom. All we're going to do now, make our way back to Ossex. We're going to defeat Thorn when he appears near the central fountain, then we'll save the game. And that'll be it into the final video of New Game Plus. Not a final video of the whole platinum, we still got to do below 1%. But after this you're going to have 2 trophies left. Yeah, after this playthrough I'm on 48 of 50 trophies. So here he is. So you can see the can on top of the screen. If I touch that now, I think it will count as a sin, even though the kid's not around. So during this boss fight, you've got to be really careful. We don't even touch it. Which I think is a bit unfair, because look at now, I can't even see it. And it has moved, so yeah, I guess I did kick it. I'm sure that's something they're probably going to fix. If it is a thing, it might not even be a thing. I can just imagine it being a problem. But I bet they'll fix that, if it is. So not doing a lot of damage to Thorn. But this is actually a lot compared to what we're going to be doing to Lionel. Lionel, we do about half of this damage to him. Yeah, Lionel has so much HP when you fight him. Same colour. bigger health bar. I guess they're both ugly as well. Yeah, that's half down. So the Underlab we're going to go to will be the one to the south. And then when you make your way into Radiant Manor, you'll go for that dining room scene and you'll find out all your sins. So when I make a save in a moment, of course at the end of the video, if you wanted to, before we carry on with the next, you could copy your save across, go into Radiant Manor, trigger the cutscene and just see what sins you think you committed. You have to make sure you watch all the cutscenes. You can skip them and then you won't see. So make sure you do choose to watch all the cutscenes and to see more when Lionel asks you. He'll ask you like if you want to see more of your sins. You can choose kind of like yes. And I'll show you even more. Like I say, my sins were for destroying too many candles, kicking that can, catching too many fish, oh yeah, not selling anything to Pawnty and not giving money to all the beggars. Yeah, that was it. It does actually say to you that you spent, like for example, you spent 300,000 bones this playthrough, but I think it counts between all your playthroughs if you're on the same file from a new game or from a new game plus. But it doesn't count for the trophy for going through the game without spending bones. We're still going to get that trophy in this video. Yeah, for going through the game without spending bones. All the trophies we plan to get from the start, we are still going to get those. So to defeat the boss, all I'm doing right now is just going to bring my health down, put on the floor as lava, play a quick game of that, guys. Once I lose, I'm going to spawn back in, turn it off, trigger save again, then quit and copy my save. Then part 24, we'll complete New Game Plus, and below 1%. I'm going to start working on that now actually. Hopefully I can get it ready before we're ready for the next video on Thursday of below 1%. But yeah, that's it guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on part 24 tomorrow. Hey, we're back with part 24 of my New Game Plus playthrough for Mina The Hollower. Yes, for my platinum. We're going to pop most of the trophies in this one. All that's going to be left after this playthrough will be below 1%, and from that, the platinum. I will show the trophies right at the end so you know exactly what I've got remaining. And I have started recording the below 1% playthrough, so it should be start dropping tomorrow. And it's probably going to be slightly shorter than this because we're going to be skipping this final dungeon. I mean, that's going to remove about 20 to 30 minutes anyway. The problem is we're not going to have anything to really use, but I've got a nice build going. I think it's going to work. The main thing I was worried about was the setup, but I've kind of got a setup all complete. It takes us about half hour to get a build going, and then we're just going to crack on, go through all the dungeons really quick. So when you come into here with Mina, the cutscene in the dining room, you're going to find out your sins. So we did not give the beggars, we did not donate to them all, we broke too many candles. So these are what you need to avoid to get a blameless ending. We got too many trophies from fish. On New Game Plus, if you captured any in New Game, that is unavoidable. We kicked the can. You have to be really careful with that can, guys. As far as I know, if you kick it once, that'll avoid it. And we did not sell anything to poor old Pawnty. So not too many things. Things we can fix without too much trouble. I mean, we've got to try not to break too many candles. We've got to avoid kicking the can. Sending some to Pawnty is easy enough. Not catching any fish is easy enough. And the one for donating to all the beggars, I believe it's only the beggars in Ossex that count. Because on their official website, they've got a list of all the requirements for a blameless ending, and it says in Ossex, donate to all the beggars. So maybe it won't be too bad. You know, I can just do a run around Ossex, see who all the beggars are, keep them in mind, and we'll sell to them right at the end. But after that cutscene, we're going to come back into Manor, of course, and make our way north and do this final dungeon. The boss fights at the end take about 10 minutes, so I have speeded them up slightly. I hope you don't mind. I fast forwarded it to 400% speed. So if you want to play them in real time, you can just slow down the video to I think quarter speed on YouTube, and that should work. But I'm going to kill all the enemies along the way, and I should get to max level just before we complete this area. But yeah, just think guys, if this is the last time we are doing Radiant Mana, I hope so. I hope it all works out how I want it to on my below 1%. But when I was fighting Lionel on this account, I'm so happy to know I've not got to do it all again. You know, when we fight him at the end of this video in New Game Plus. Yeah, such a relief. That's such a long fight when you're trying to cheat it like this. And I hope this build never gets patched, because if it does, it's going to kind of mess up my old platinum guides. Well, I guess the route is still there. It just means you're going to have to learn the enemies a lot more, of course. But it's going to mess up my below 1% as well. But then I am going to be doing a platinum walkthrough using cheats as well. So if anything does get patched and you do find it too hard without these cheats builds, you can just revert to my platinum guide using the cheats. So that should make up for it. So I'm going to press the switch, go outside. We are going to be a glass cannon when using a mist jar, so you've got to be really careful. Right, here we go. So once back outside, gonna kill this enemy for quite a few bones. Another thing I found as well in when I was doing below 1%, there is a modifier you can enable which does not deactivate trophies, and it scales enemies. And what I mean is, if there's a harder variant of an enemy throughout the game, every enemy of that type will be the highest version, and it makes it so you can actually farm a lot better. For example, you might be just outside Ossex and there'll be 3 enemies to the right, and you normally get like 15, 30 and 15 from them both. But if you've got a scale up modifier on, which makes every enemy the hardest version, then you'll get 15 from one, then I think it's like 400 from the other, and then 15 again, and that's all outside Ossex just from one enemy. So it can help with farming. I have got a good farming spot on below 1%. It's going to work really well. We'll get 1,000 bones every minute, which within 15 minutes of playing the game, I don't think is too bad. Yeah, within 15 minutes playing the game, guys, we're going to have a 1,000 a minute farming spot for bones. So on below 1%, we're going to use that to kind of level up really quick, so we can buy a few things. On below 1%, you can only obtain 6 items, by the way. Otherwise, you'll get 0. You'll be on 0 and not below -1. Yeah, be on -1. To be honest, I hope it's not -2 you need. You know, so the trophy says below -1%. But I think it's -1% and below. Pretty sure. If not, it's going to change things up slightly. But I will have the playthrough finished before it comes to tomorrow. So, I'll know if it works or not, and if it doesn't, I'm just going to have to change it up. Probably not carry the wisp. Yeah, making up for the video, guys. Sorry I'm not kind of like guiding you too much what we're doing at the moment, but I'm assuming you've been through all this already, so you kind of know what's in store. Yeah, this room's quite annoying. So when the conduits go off, the lightning, you can kind of see the pits, what's going to be like a hard block on the pit, and parts which you can attack to make a tile appear, or a bounce pad. And it's got to make a way to the end. Yes, like I say, you can get 6 items on the below 1% we're doing, because you sell 10 at the end and it'll put you below 1%. Now 6 items, if you're doing a new game playthrough, 1 is going to be the key in the starting area, so that's 5 items remaining, and 1 is going to be a train pass. Those are items you need to progress the story, the only items, so that leaves us 4. So without those it would be 6, but with those, because you have to include them, it leaves 4. So actually you can only grab any random 4 items during your playthrough and still get below 1%. And the bone stone shards and other crystals, they count as an item. A key does, so you have to make sure you avoid all of those. Sidearms don't, luckily. But what we're going to be getting, so we're going to get one trinket bag from the shop. We are going to get the sidearm. I can't remember the name of it now. You know, you buy the sidearm space, it gives you space to get a second sidearm. Sidearm something, forget the name of it. But yeah, we're going to buy that, so we can have 2 sidearms. And we're going to get 2 trinkets. The trinkets will be Dual Syringe and Carry the Wisp. Because Carry the Wisp just makes the platforming a lot easier. I was kind of considering not getting that and something else. For example, Uranium Bracelet, so we do more damage. But damage ain't going to be too bad on New Game. And I just think having that extra ability, you know, to jump a bit further or glide, it's just going to make platforming parts a bit easier. Because fighting the enemies ain't going to be too bad with this setup, Mistjar and Collar. So in here, watch out for the traps. They do about 3/4 of your health if they catch you, so try not to get caught by them. And I just fell down there. Got sent all the way back. When you do jump on this top right part, make sure that bottom moving platform, that one there, is kind of below you. Otherwise you will not be able to jump and you'll be stuck. Once in here, back in the ballroom, I'm just going to kill most of the enemies, and which I have not killed yet. Unlock the far right shortcut rope, and then go back to Underlab, die to restock, and then carry on along the linear route. Yep, through this doorway on the right. So take out these 2, and I fell down again. Yeah, what can you do? Nothing, not much I can do about that one. So yeah, back up, back across, get down the shortcut rope for the 3rd time. Like I say, this is the last time you're going to be here, so enjoy it while you can. No more coming back to Radiant Manor. For you, this is probably your 2nd time in here, but for me, this is probably like my 20th time going through the Radiant Manor. Right, so I've saved it. Going to turn the floor into lava. Going to step on it to burn my feet and kill myself. And respawn and restock. Turn it off. Right, let's go right back up the rope. Don't know why I'm killing these guys again. It's not like I need to, like I say, I end up the game with about, I think it's about 20k bones remaining. So quite a lot. I mean, that guy just killed you off about 2k. These bone trinkets make enemies drop so much, and New Game Plus they drop a lot as well. From New Game Plus, enemies are a lot stronger. Right, got him. So yes, up this rope, got about 6k then. Not too shabby. So in the gallery, because I'm using Mistjar, once I get past that fence, yeah, you can kind of just Mistjar past all these, you know, as long as you ain't got a crouch on something and there's spikes in the way. That's it. Once in Servants' Quarters, take north exit, I'm going to beat up Mr. Fergus. Another easy fight. I found out with this guy, you've got the modifier on for 1-hit kills. This takes 4 hits because each head, I guess, is considered a different part. It's not like they all share this. Well, they do technically share the same health bar, but kind of you have to kill them all one by one as well. It's not like I kill one and the rest are destroyed, even on 1-hit kills. So I have been, once I finished this playthrough, I was completing the game quite a lot. I was skipping a lot of it, you know, by going to modifiers. If you're going to start modifiers when you start a new game, you can choose to skip areas, basically. You can make it so Bone Beach already completed, Coltrane Beach, Peak, sorry, is already completed. The Crypt is already completed. Yeah, pretty much every area you can do that, except for the Radiant Manor. And it's good because you can get to the end quick and test things. Because to find out your percentage, you have to get through the credits at the end during the boat scene. And then that's how you see your percentage. I think altogether it's probably about 300 or 400 collectibles in the game. So it's not like one item gives you 1%. It's not how it works. Yeah, you'll be on like 2% and you'll sell about 3 items, then it'll take you to 1%. You sell about 3 more and you go to 0. But once you get below 0, each item knocks you down 1%. I think that's how it works. Or it's when you collect one item, it knocks you up 1%, something like that. But yeah, it's good with the cheats because you can quickly test things. You can't test trophies, of course, because they don't pop with cheats on. But you can get to the end quick and look at your overall results. So once beat him, come outside onto the rooftop. There is a brief edit here. The thing I did die once. And what I don't like about this room, not this one, the next one. So I'm just going to kill that red snake. Yes, this room here, you see these tiles. You see they don't have any bones inside them. And I think it's a glitch. You see there's no bones inside them. But if you kind of like die and respawn, the bones reappear. Or something like that. Or it's either the other way round. So when I come back in, oh, you're not going to see. But yeah, something like that. The bones will be there. You see those bones. But if you kind of like die and respawn without collecting them, they disappear. Even though you did not actually collect them. I am going to take out this green ghost. I'm going to kill all the enemies in this room. There we go. It's not too bad avoiding candles. We need to smash 3 candles in order to get the build I want for below 1%. We're going to smash a candle at the start to get the axe, because it makes the first boss really easy and a few other boss, and it just helps you to begin with. Then later on we're going to smash a mist jar candle and a beckoning collar, and we don't break it anymore. So that means we have 1 candle to spare, because you can only break 4 candles apparently. If you break more than 4, you'll not get the blameless ending. Right, got it. We can't go into Godred's grave because if you go in there, apparently that counts as a sin. So you've got to completely avoid it. So that means we don't have that candle with every single sidearm close by. We're going to get Mist Jar from Bone Beach. And we're going to get the beckoning collar from Noxus Bayou. We're going to go to Bone Beach first on below 1%. Get the jewel syringe. And we're going to go into Noxus Bayou, get a beckoning collar, then our build will be ready. And because we're already in Noxus Bayou, we're going to crack on and get that dungeon finished. Then the order we'll do them will be we'll do half of Bone Beach, Noxus Bayou complete, September complete, Crypt complete, Bone Beach complete, then of course the peak, Astral Orrery, then that'll be the game finished. Good thing is, if you leave Cold Train Peak until last, we can only use the train once, remember. And if you try to board the train at the last moment, I don't think it charges you, which I think is good, so we don't need 10k. Again, something I'll confirm tomorrow, once the first video goes live for below -1%. But yeah, once it's done guys, Platinum is very, very close. And if you didn't manage to speedrun on this, don't worry too much, because I think you should be able to do it on below 1%. I think it's actually going to be a little bit quicker. We do a bit of farming on below 1%, but it's not for long. Like I say, the first 30 minutes, we get all the farming done, and we get a build ready, and then we're in Ossex ready to rock and roll and make our way into the first dungeon we're going to complete, which will be Noxus Bayou. Right, about to level up again. There we go, max level. So I've got max level, but that's only because I've had them Deadening Wand equipped and the Watchful Eye. Without those, I think I would have been about halfway. So quite a long way off. Yeah, so this enemy is the highest version of that enemy type. And you've got that scale of enemies on. Whenever similar enemies of that appear in the game, they will always be that type, which give you 500 bones. Without any trinkets which increase your bone collection. And all I'm doing now, so once you've unlocked them spikes at the top, so make sure you retract all the spikes first. Then you're going to come all the way back to Ossex. You're going to go into Trinket Shop, and we're going to change our build. Because otherwise this next bit is quite annoying. So we're going to take off all the, we're going to take off Deadly Wand, Stolenoid and Watchful Eye. We're going to equip Dead Leaf, Proto Spark and Uranium Bracelet so we do much damage. So we've got Draining Bestium, Dead Leaf, Proto Spark, Carry the Wisp, Uranium Bracelet and the Dual Syringe. And we're not coming back to change. That will be our setup for the remainder of this playthrough. We don't need to worry about bones anymore, guys. We're max level. I mean, if you're quite far off still, then you could go back. But trust me, this area is going to be difficult without Dead Leaf, and that Proto Spark will come in very handy. And that Uranium Bracelet, without that, you're going to do hardly no damage to the boss, and it will take ages. And all I'm doing now is killing myself again. So coming up next is that long, like, side-scrolling room. You know, where you're kind of like on the rails as the screen pushes you forward. And I've got to kill myself twice due to Proto Spark. Let's turn it off. That should be the last time we have to kill ourselves. Right, let's do it. Yep, straight north. We're going to kill us 2 red knights up here to open the far exits. And then make our way into the generator core. The boss fight Lionel is exactly the same on New Game Plus as you watch a New Game, just it takes a little bit longer. Yeah, they've buffed their health so much. I don't know if it's even to how much damage you do now compared to how much health they got. You know, I don't know if it's even as it is to New Game. I'm sure at max level I did more damage on this than what I did on New Game. So maybe the enemies are slightly more increased than what your damage is. So yeah, this is that room I was on about. It's quite annoying. And that Dead Leaf comes in handy at the end, remember, when all the spheres start spinning their way towards you. For example, I'm sure this enemy, I'm sure they died in 1 hit at this point on New Game. Just keep healing up when you can, so it's quite easy to die like that. Just burrowed straight into a slime. And once done this bit anyway, you can always go back and restock if you need to before the final boss. There's no Underlab, by the way. The only Underlabs that one would be Newson, just before the ballroom. So up here, where there's normally an Underlab before the boss, it's not going to spawn. What's also good about below 1% is because we've got the Underlab trophy out of the way, we can jump in Underlabs now when we're passing on by and getting all our vials back. Because you're only going to have 3 vials as well on below 1% for the whole game. You're going to have a very tiny health bar as well. A very small stock of jewels, which don't matter because we're using Dual Syringe. Right, so you've got our last stretch to do. These last 2 blocks you see there, 1500 bones in there. So yeah, New Game Plus you also find more bones in the ground. The bone drops you find are kind of like the next tier. I wonder if it's like that on all the other New Game Pluses. It starts getting even higher and higher. So just keep moving forward gradually and try to avoid these. Remember to stay still until Dead Leaf takes effect. Not going to bother grabbing the bones, so I don't need to. Right, that's it. Last tile, I think. So all we've got now is that mega long boss fight. It's more like an endurance test than anything else. You know, see if you can be consistent with the method without making mistakes. Because I'll be honest, my thumb does get a little bit tired after doing this. And you can break this as well if you want to. I don't really need to do that. Because if I do decide to jump back in afterwards, I'd have to go down here anyway to get out, and I could just destroy it at that time. So here we are in the study. So first of the final 2 boss fights, we've got Lionel on his feet to begin with. So it's a very long fight, and like I say, I have speeded this up. Here we go. So I've timed it 400%. So nothing to explain. I'm cheesing him. I've got my mist jar and my bacon collar. Just going to keep spamming the button. Like I say, this is going to be a test of your thumb endurance. See your thumb you've been using? I think I do try to switch fingers sometimes, but because you have to spam this button quite quick, because if you're not quick enough, you can die. Yeah, it punishes you very hard if you don't quite spam that mist jar button quick enough. I think they took off the invisibility frames, didn't they? Whereas before you used to be invincible for longer after using the mist jar, but now you're pretty much vulnerable as soon as the animation is finished. Yeah, which is a shame. So I beat him there. Next up, we're going to beat him on the Sparta Tower, the flying one. So this one's a bit more, I wouldn't say difficult. I mean, we're still doing the cheese, but it's just annoying to try and get the collar to attack him, because it'll normally attack him a few times, then it comes back to you, and you have to keep chasing him around the tower. What you'll see me doing, I know I am going a bit fast, but I'm trying to, when the collar goes behind me, the pet, I have to kind of move up or down, go behind the pet and then push him into Lionel. Then once the pet starts attacking Lionel, you want to stop moving towards him and start moving up and down. Because if you're just constantly moving towards him, it'll only like hit him once and then move out of the way. But if you get it to attack him and then start moving up and down, you know, so its reach is extended, it'll normally attack him 2 or 3 times. And other than that, that's all you pretty much want to keep doing. When he does lob his claws down on the floor, when there's a burrow icon, you can burrow into it for a bit of damage, but it's very, very risky if you do that. Because if you mess it up, due to Mist Jar, we're on 1 HP. If you mess it up and burrow it in the wrong place and actually hit the claw and not the burrow spot, you can die. And because it's such a long fight, you might not want to risk it, guys, just for a little tiny bit more damage. So yeah, probably just keep trying to hit him with a pet like this. But once you get to the top, guys, this is the easy part. The hard part is when he's climbing the tower, because it's difficult to hit him. But yeah, it's a lot easier when you get here. Just keep moving kind of up and down, left and right, where your pet does all the work. And got him. So back to normal speed. So I did want to show you my completion on the credits, but I accidentally skipped it by mistake. Yeah, apologies for that. And I was not prepared to go through all that again, that boss fight. So normally I would edit it and, you know, I'd do it again, but I'm not fighting Lionel again, sorry. But you'll see my time at the end. I am going to show you my final time on this video, on this playthrough, and my final time when I cleared the game before this, so you can just kind of add the times together. I think it took me 3 hours. 3 hours about. I'm just going to show you my trophies which I just obtained. So see all these, they've all got the same time, same date. There you go, so I just popped all these. You only saw one, because it can only show you 1 trophy at a time. So they all popped at the same time. Quite a lot of trophies here. Off the grid, Bone Pincher, Speed Winner, Weirdify, Hardify, Hollow Win again. You can pop some of those on below 1% if you want to pop them there. Yeah, I did not mean to press that button. I was actually really annoyed I pressed that when I was recording. Yeah, you would have seen me raging if I had the webcam on or something like that. Right, so I was going to finish this. I'll show you my timing on the save files. So below 1%, guys, that is next up. It will start tomorrow, and it's hopefully going to be about 4 or 5 videos. So if you don't get speedrun here, you can get it on your below -1%. So it's not the end of the world, guys. And you could technically put on some modifiers as well, you know, hard and weird. So New Game Plus 2 is now available, but we are not going to touch that. So you've got 1146 and 846. 1146 and 846. So it took me 3 hours altogether. But that's it for New Game Plus, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my below -1% on tomorrow's video.